There I am. What the fuck? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Less Than Normal. Just to fill you in, our pre-show conversation was the discussion of the dangers of incest and how it has basically destroyed porn. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I guess with that, hello everyone and welcome to Less Than Normal. I am Chris, and joined with me today are my merry band of misfits.
I prefer miscreant. Thank you.
You identify to whichever name you wish, Dave. But that is Dave. Bree is here, and Marcus is here with us again this week.
Howdy.
How was everybody's past week?
Bree went on an adventure.
Bree did go on adventures. Bree, where did you go?
No, I mean on screen.
Oh, well, she went on an adventure in real life, too, I'm sure.
Yeah,
the best video game of all.
She went to go see Cocaine Bear in theaters.
Oh, yeah, that. I guess you count that as an adventure.
How was that experience?
It was so stupid, and I loved it.
There we go. That's it. It
was also a bit more gory than I thought it was going to be.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah.
The gore doesn't look good because it's all CGI.
Right. I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this movie was inspired by
Google,
like true events.
Oh yeah, it's a true story.
What?
In the sense that a bear consumed that amount of cocaine. What actually happened was like the bear died super painfully.
Right. Okay.
Like its heart exploded and like organs and shit failed. Yeah. So inspired is correct because it did happen. It just the bear didn't go on a crazy high like tirade.
Rampage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
the bear
That-
died, but
there-
it did
yeah.
consume a shit ton of cocaine.
Where was this? Was this in
Also-
like Yellowstone or something?
Was it California?
Hmm.
You saw the
I
movie.
think- Okay, the movie jumps from location to location. At one point, we're in Missouri, then we go to Nevada, then we're in California. I don't know.
Well, here
This is-
we'll look it up because I'm
this is like-
honestly not sure.
Like I'm just
I think
curious,
it's
like
Northern California.
because
I'm
it
not
makes
sure of any.
Georgia. It was in Georgia,
okay.
Then we were in
Okay.
we were in a lot of
Alright.
states.
which
Yeah.
again also kind of makes sense.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was
It-
looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind, willing to make a deal.
Willing to make a deal with a
And
crazy
then
ass bear, and the
and
bear
then a-
wasn't actually the
Cocaine!
correct one from the movie. The movie depicted as a grizzly bear. I believe it was a black bear.
Oh,
I
right.
thought it
call
was
it
a
a black
sun
bear in the movie.
Oh, do they? No, it was it was a
Yeah.
black bear.
Okay.
They call it a black bear in the movie, and it's the most strange and interesting movie to be Ray Liotta's last movie.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
I mean,
And I just watched fucking Goodfellas today.
Like I've never seen Goodfellas, but I know it's grouped in with like Scarface and Godfather, so I know it's like good cinema. This
Oh,
was
yeah.
not that.
This was not bad. Fucking yee yee.
All
That
right,
is
on a all right,
spectacular.
all right, on a scale of 1 to Sharknado, then like how
Not as crazy as Sharknado. I don't even know what to compare it to.
that's
Tremors.
Yeah,
Dude, you know
Tremors.
what? That's
A little
reasonable.
A little less bad than Tremors on the
Okay.
scale of
Yeah.
like crazy.
Oh no, I love
Yeah.
the Tremors
Oh
movies.
yeah, Tremors.
But
the
not
first
because they're
movies were
good.
The best. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like them
Right.
because they're good. I like them because they're enjoyable.
right.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
have big
that's
fucking
fair.
worms that turn into things with legs that oh. And then they
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah.
Fucking dude. Fucking
And I think in the
Tremors
fifth
was
one they're in
wild.
space. Why does everybody go to space?
They're I don't think they ever go to space. I think you might
Yeah,
be thinking of either
you might be-
Leprechaun or Jason.
The Leprechaun goes to space.
Oh no.
And Jason
Yeah.
goes to space.
Jason does go
and
to space.
The Fast and the
Critters
Furious
go to
crew goes to
space.
space.
Hey, that's about family. That family went to space, Dave.
Look, all I have to say is if I
That's amazing.
ever, if I never hear my man go family again, it will be too fucking soon.
I wonder how Vin. It's all like
Also,
You
what do
know,
you think of my Vin Diesel impression?
it's pretty. I mean,
Hey, you know.
you got the tonality. You need a little like rasp in there, but like you're on. You're
Family.
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
You sound like the Mortal Kombat announcer saying family instead of finish him.
Finish him. Fight.
Yeah, right?
Double
like
kill.
yeah.
Triple kill.
That's- That's Halo.
Killtality.
Yeah.
Game over.
Game over.
Yeah, there we
EA
go.
Sports. It's in the game.
Game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
EA.
I
Yo,
think Dave's
so I
dead
did
now.
okay, so I've been experimenting with the Joker monologue that I know.
Are
Chris?
we just gonna ignore the fact that you probably just had a stroke on camera?
There's a video of the EA
Just-
Sports logo, but it's all chopped up, so it just goes EA.
Yeah, I
It's
haven't seen
fucking
that.
hilarious.
I
It
was
sounds-
concerned for a second.
That
dude.
sounds like that sounds like the YouTube poop. That sounds
Dude,
like
that's
that
like
sounds similar to like some of the stuff that happens in Neil deGrasse Tyson Enters a Crack Hole, which I posted today. You know,
I
Neil
am gonna
deGrasse
have to look
Tyson.
at that. I have
Yeah.
not had time yet today. Yo, but like, okay, hang on. I have to figure out which train I was on.
We have a
You
show,
were
guys,
on one
I
of 'em.
promise.
We here at LTN Media claim to be professionals.
We have a
This one's
show
missing.
when we get to it.
It's really true. We do have a show when we get to it.
yeah.
This is how
I mean-
all of our shows start.
This
We
is
have a show, but eventually we find our way there.
I found the train.
Okay.
So I've been experimenting with trying that Joker monologue, but in other character voices I do.
Oh, no.
Stitch as the Joker actually works.
okay.
You want to know how I got these scars? My father
God.
was a drinker and a fiend.
Yeah. Yep.
Stitch. Yeah, Stitch is the
Yeah.
Joker.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah, there we go. I mean,
Could you imagine?
Oh
Yeah.
boy, you want to know how I got these scars?
That's
My
just
My
haunting.
father was a drinker
Terrifying.
and a fiend.
Yeah.
yeah.
Although that does track from Mickey's backstory, if I'm being real.
Well, if his father was Walt Disney, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that tracks. Like, I could. Oh, Mickey, why are you so happy? It tells you the most traumatic backstory ever. And how are you not on drugs?
Oh, I am. You're right. Wait, who
Yeah,
told
that's-
you I wasn't on drugs?
That's the secret, kids.
Dude, why does Darwin have an obsession with my Les Paul?
Because
Oh.
it keeps seeing your bald ass head and your Les Paul looks more like a face.
Oh.
Wow.
No, because it happens every time you look down.
You didn't have to come at me like that, Dave. I was just
Jeez.
asking a question.
I was giving you an answer.
This guy just
They
goes hard in
didn't
the
say
paint.
Bree was.
Look, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just direct.
Also, I feel like it feels weird with Marcus not having a name tag.
Yep. I agree.
We don't have a face for you either.
Well, that's fine. I can be the voice of God.
To be fair, we barely have a face for Brie.
Yeah, this is like
You
Bree-ish.
need to dye it red now. Find a way to make the hair red.
I'll just send me a new picture, and I'll try
Okay.
to do a new one.
Okay, because I'll be red until at least the end of May.
And I
Then
hate
what are
how
you going?
me and Chris's are the only ones that look like me and Chris.
I know, yet they
Yours-
literally look
yours
like
look
us.
like you and Mr. Worldwide.
It's Mr. Worldwide.
Bing bang, bada bing, bada boom.
I mean, I got the sunglasses.
Although, real shit, you really should start doing lipstick on just your bottom lip with like a black line down the middle.
Who?
You.
Why?
Well, A, to match the art for you better. And B, that's a cool look on him. It might look good on you too.
It's probably not.
It's probably
But I
not. He
think-
has nicer
Probably
lips
not.
than you do.
They're
Wow.
also kind of look
You
like
don't know what I got. I mean, you
I
do,
mean,
technically,
unless you have
see me.
lips somewhere that aren't on your face, like in your freezer.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. You ate those
Total
finally?
joke, by the way. I did. Horse lips. No.
I thought he meant a different set of lips, and I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yep, that's where
Oh,
I
Yeah,
think
I
he
thought he
was
meant
going.
chicken lips.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken lips and horse dicks. That's what hot dogs is made of. My daddy used to tell me that.
I mean, you're not incorrect.
All right.
Marcus, like, anyway, so.
All right. Now for something completely different, let's go to the actual show.
That's fair.
I mean, to be fair, this is part of the actual show.
That
Yeah, this is our random bullshit that we.
Week in
Based
review
our-
means we're going to go off on all the tangents now.
So this
Fill
way
in
we can
3
be on
hours.
task, yeah, for
At
The
least
rest
10
of it-
minutes.
yeah, and then we figure out the rest from there.
yeah.
Basically, this show is. Oh my god, my ear is backwards still.
I'm
Did you not notice that? It is still backwards. The fuck kind of AI were you using, Dave?
one that doesn't recognize your ears. It's
Look,
straight.
all I'm going to say is I never noticed it until now.
You know what? That is fair.
Oh my god, it is backwards.
It is backwards.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see it now. Oh.
Oh, yeah, no, I
It's
can't
big
unsee it.
backwards?
Yeah.
No, Dave's is right. Okay.
These look like Snapchat like avatars.
Dude, we should use our Bitmojis.
Except I don't have
Yeah.
one because I don't use Snapchat because I'm
Well,
a fucking
You
adult.
can just download.
So you
can
can just
download
download the app.
Bitmoji.
Yeah, download the Bitmoji app and create one.
I already have one created.
That's what I fucking thought.
I used to look.
Dave, you have a teenage daughter. There's no fucking way you didn't have one.
Yeah.
Oh no, like it's not installed on my phone and hasn't been in years.
Yeah.
But you still
You
have
at least have a picture.
I had one. I don't even know if I still have it because I don't know how long they allow shit to remain inactive before they close the account.
I'm sure they don't close the accounts.
Yeah.
Are you? Because Microsoft does, Google does,
Well,
like
Bitmoji's
everybody
not-
does.
Does
Bitmoji's
Snapchat
not
close
Google or
account?
Microsoft.
No, but Bitmoji is tied to your Snapchat account.
It
which
is.
That I am concerned it might be.
That's not what I meant to ask. Does Snapchat delete inactive accounts? Does Snapchat delete inactive accounts?
Bing bang.
Not what
bada,
I asked.
Bing
Google.
bang. Bada bing. Bada boom. Mr.
The
Worldwide is a
Snapchat
walk in the room.
delete inactive accounts.
Because what came up from mine was what will happen to my Snapchat account when I die?
Oh well.
Well,
Yeah.
you stop getting followers, that's for sure.
Your account will likely remain inactive for a period of time before Snapchat deletes it. It doesn't give a specific time.
Okay, but
No,
that
I mean-
means that they do just delete inactive accounts.
Yeah.
Because unless someone reaches out to them, how are they going to know you died?
That's fair.
Yeah. Yep.
That's super fair.
Yep.
I can promise you guys that in real life, my ears are not backwards.
That's a
They
lie.
are
What do you think
normal.
you always
Oh,
I have
Damn it.
normal ears.
Oh.
Ear porn. Ear porn.
Ooh. Let me cover those up. I don't want to bother TOS for Twitch.
Oh.
Can you show
Oh.
ears? Is that allowed?
Oh no, you can. I was just letting people know that if they're into that sort of thing, now's the
Oh no, I
proper
wasn't sure
time
on
to,
how much they were.
spank it,
you know.
flick the bean, etc.
Is that a thing?
What?
Is ear fetish a thing?
Dude,
I'm
people
sure
are
it
into
is.
everything.
Everything is
Like
a
I wouldn't be
thing.
surprised.
Again,
Rule
shout out.
34.
Is it 34?
I think it's 34. Rule 34.
Yeah, it's Rule
if it-
34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's on
If
the
it
internet.
exists,
There's porn of it.
It's porn for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not
Yeah.
quote the old magics to me, witch. I was there when they were written.
Thanks,
They
gamer.
probably
Yeah,
wrote it.
but that's
All
a
right,
fair.
El-
That's a fair assessment.
Okay, Elrond. Were you there?
No,
Were you?
that's an
were you-
Aslan line.
Were you there 3,000 years ago when Sauron fell
Sauron fell.
and Isildur took the ring for himself? Boom! Mic drop.
Homie. I'm touring Turambar.
Oh,
And with my blade
Christ.
Mormagil, I will
Oh, man.
carve a bloody path across the countryside, seeking vengeance for my lost love.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
no idea what y'all are referencing. And I'm
So-
just going to sit here like, okay.
So that was
So
a that was a
He took it like one layer of nerd deep, and I stepped all the way to the end of the field.
Yeah.
Felt like it was something nerdy, but I was like, it's not my nerdy.
It's
Well, you know-
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So you know what's sad is I
particularly-
understood
Unless
everything that
you've
was
read
said.
the entire Silmarillion, what I said makes no sense to anyone.
Yeah,
or you watch a video on the YouTube channel Nerd.
it's fair.
That explains
Um,
everything that happens in the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
fair.
Yeah.
You know what?
But
If YouTube had existed when I read it, that probably would have been a better option.
Yeah.
Though to be fair, the first 2 chapters of that book are dry as fuck because it's about the creation of the world, and then
Yep.
after that it gets real good.
for one summer I burned through The Hobbit and the Fellowship trilogy, and then I tried to get to this through the Silmarillion, and I was like, I don't understand. Just I get it. Morgoth is bad. Ungoliant is crazy. And yeah, that you know.
Well-
but like there's a lot in it's basically like the mythology book for the mythology book. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's
Right.
yeah, and like
Well,
you know,
but then you make all sorts of connections. Like, did you know that
yeah.
Shelob is a child of Ungoliant?
Ungoliant, yes. Yep. Yep. She's like Ungoliant is like the original spider.
Well, the
is
original giant spider.
yeah, but like it's
Yeah.
like she's like the like in the Lord of the Rings universe, I believe like all spiders could like track their DNA to her, you know, like and the crazy thing is like um she was like the one thing that Morgoth or Melkor, depending on
When?
which elf
Yeah.
tribe you follow and which tongue and language you use. Anyway, that you know that was she. Ungoliant was the only like being that like Morgoth feared outside of like the god of Tolkien's realm. You know, like because when they steal the Cimmeril, yeah, they steal the Cimmerils and suck the light out of the two trees. Um, Ungoliant devours everything except for like one Cimmeril, and like Morgoth refuses to give it to her, and like it's like a big threat, and like I think there's like a battle, and like he gets pretty wrecked actually, and then like but he still has the Cimmeril, and there's a quote somewhere too where it's like there's I don't fear anything, but Ungoliant is she scares me. You know, I don't know if that's a fan quote or if that's in the book somewhere, but yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to get deep into the ring lore, but here we
Oh,
are.
no,
Oh,
you're
you're
all
fine.
good.
We've gone pretty hard into the ring lore at a few
Yeah.
points.
No,
Well,
but to tie
especially
the
when we were watching
What? Rings of Power, yeah.
Rings of Power, which
oh nice,
they're
yeah,
deviating from the source material, but I kind of like it because they're doing it well,
yeah,
and they're giving me the same characters on like slightly different trajectories, which makes it interesting, and
Okay.
adding new
Yeah.
characters in and stuff.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, but the reason I quoted it in the first place because Dave was like, I was there to the rule 34 thing, and it just made me
I was there, man. I saw
like-
the whole thing.
like Elrond's speech in the Fellowship where he talks to Gandalf about being at the battle where Isildur cuts the finger off of Sauron and then takes the ring, and he's like, I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago. And yeah, anyway.
Hugo Weaving is another one of those people that just have a voice that you're like, that is that person, period.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You have like Hugo Weaving, Morgan Freeman,
Yep.
James Earl Jones.
Yep.
Took me a minute to remember his fucking name.
Matthew McConaughey has that voice too.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he's really just distinctive. Yep. Trying to think. Oh, the guy who's been narrating the it's not DraftKings, it's the other one. There's a guy who like
FanDuel?
Yeah. That guy is, he's got that really deep, you wouldn't bet,
Oh
he's got that.
yeah.
So that guy's name is like Will Lyon, and he like does the voice of he does the narration for primarily the PBS Frontline documented series. So like it's like, and I've seen a lot of those. So like I associate that voice with is like, you know, high political crimes, and that it's like, you know, like you wouldn't bet on your mother. It's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, his voice is also really distinctive. Tom Kenny, the voice actor for SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, his voice is pretty recognizable when he voices anything.
And any of the people who
With
do the
Herbert sci-fi. Hey, fair. Listen,
So
we
I
are
don't know what
here to nerd
Herbert
out.
is, but I will also nerd out about sci-fi, though I have some pretty polarizing opinions about certain sci-fi properties.
which have been expressed on multiple occasions on this show.
It's okay. All I'm gonna say is this.
Everybody, buckle up. Grab your snacks. We're in for a long one.
My
I'm
butt
mad
is
at
clenched.
Disney for Star Wars, not because of what they did with Star Wars, but because they've shown us they can do better than that with an established property, and they refuse to do so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
They've shown us they can do so much better, and they refuse to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Star Wars has such an interesting, like, as a franchise, it has such a colored history of like insane successes, and then like like uh the highs are very high, and then the lows are very low. You
Right.
know, like,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, and I don't think like I'm every creative franchise has them to some, you know, extent. I'm not sure that many of these creative franchises, the failures are as widely known as Star Wars, and can cause such, you know, strong feelings in people.
Yeah.
You know, like I think, yeah, um, it's an interesting thing. There's, if you really want to like, if you really want an interesting watch on YouTube, there's a documentary about the main one. Like
what?
there's a documentary about like the making of episode 1.
Oh, okay.
And like it's really like interesting to see a world without Jar Jar Binks, and like the world of like that,
It's a
like,
fucking world I want to be a part of.
No.
Fuck that guy.
No.
But
Time
like,
out. Time
but
out.
like, hold on,
Jar
I'm
Jar
not done.
Binks could have fucking saved the prequel trilogy,
I'm
but they
not
got
done.
cold fucking feet, and
Well,
they pulled their plan.
Well, just let me finish. Like, there's it's really interesting to see Lucas, like, you know, like just being like full steam ahead with Jar Jar on camera, and like, you know, convinced that this is going to be this is a great idea. And and like that, like with no thought of the repercussions, I think is just, it's just, I don't know, as a fan of Star Wars, and understanding why Jar Jar can't be a dramatic character. If you ask me, if they put Captain Tarples, the, you know, the other Jimmy, you know, the other Gungan, who takes him to the bosses, completely different movie. You know,
Yeah.
like, you know, but they went for the village idiot. You know
But
what
they
I mean?
didn't
Like,
go for the village idiot. That wasn't Jar Jar's original intent.
well,
Okay.
Lucas,
They played him up for it, but
yeah, well,
he
because
played-
yeah, well, but like he was supposed to be, like,
You cut
Lucas
out, bud.
says, well, in this documentary that I've seen, like, Lucas says, like, we've never had a character this funny before. in Star Wars. He was all so like that tells me
That's
coming
not
from
true. R2 is fucking hilarious.
well, oh
R2
yeah,
is hands down the funniest character in the original trilogy because he just, and especially when you have BB-8 to compare R2 to, because when BB-8 chirps, you hear like, oh dear, oh me, oh my, oh no, something's wrong. And when R2D2 chirps, it's like, oh fuck, shit just hit the fan, boys. What the hell are we gonna do? Like, that's how R2 talks in my head. Because that's how kind of he emotes.
Have
It's
you
a
ever-
fucking one of my favorite characters in the original trilogy is a fucking Roomba with a garbage can on top of it. And
That's
it's
exactly what it is.
fantastic.
Hey. He's more dignified than a Roomba with a trash can on him. So, Jesus. You know, he's a fucking sentient you know, giant beer keg
That
with
yeah.
with
I'm a strong independent black woman and I don't need no man mentality. Cause tell me
Yep.
R2 doesn't
Yes.
give that vibe.
R2 can sass, but the you know, the better anyway, I always thought 3PO was actually pretty funny.
Oh no,
As
3PO
well,
is
it was.
hilarious.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like the they're the but yeah, like you know, like I guess like in the slapstick funny, I guess. Have did you see the Family Guy like Star Wars like the Blue Harvest trilogy?
No.
No.
Oh, I don't fuck with Family Guy, but I fuck with those parodies because they're pretty great. And they made Cleveland R2 and like, you know, like they're doing the like Death Star trench run and like Cleveland's like R2 and he's like shooting at like the TIE fighter and he's like, that's how we do it in the hood.
No, that totally makes sense for R2 though.
Yeah.
Because
No,
R2's got that like Lil Thuggy vibe.
Yeah,
like,
no, he's
R2D2's honorary name is now Lil Thuggy.
He's got a little young thug in him. You
He's
know, like
a little young thug.
like well there's also like I can't there's like a specific YouTube video that I saw a couple years ago that's absolutely phenomenal where it's titled like another bad R2 lip reading and like just someone like you know goes through and just like recaptions a lot of the scenes where he's chirping and they're like phenomenal. Like one of them is like they're like Luke is talking. No, Anakin is talking in the beginning of episode 3 where they're like going into the separatist ship and lock onto and R2's like, lock onto what? There's 327 objects. What do you want me to hit?
That's funny.
You know, and then like when Luke like lands on Dagobah, like you know, like he's just like it's like best pilot in the outer rim. Like, you know, R2, are you okay? No.
No.
I lost everything. My pride, my dignity. And then like, you know, like the most young thug one is like from episode 2 where Anakin and Padme are stowing away on a civilian transport to go to Naboo. This is a couple scenes before the iconic "I don't like sand" line. And then like R2 like rolls by and he chirps to him. He's like, "Yo, I hid that weed for you." And he's like,
my favorite scene with R2 is when he sticks out his little probe and zaps that guy. And then he's just got that confident little chirp after. Fuck yeah, I showed him.
Oh,
just walking away.
Oh, like the Ewok in like Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he
just zaps the Ewok and he's like, haha, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's a pretty straight thuggin' moment. Like, like I know you're probably not gonna watch this series, but if you like droids with a thug mentality, Chopper from Star Wars Rebels, like, is that, but more.
no.
And like,
The droid
and
from Rogue
he's
One was the best character in Rogue One.
well,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about Rogue One.
I know.
Like you just fucking dodged my entire fucking sentence. Jesus.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
it's like,
Dude,
I'm
Mark is about to fight.
like, god damn.
We fucking are fighting. Either way, I'm getting naked.
Just like, all
I
right.
just want to be sure.
But yeah, you should like watch Chopper from Star Wars Rebels because he's
I'll
fucking
have to check him out.
hilarious. Yeah, he is like, his base mentality is like R2 rolling by and being, I hid your weed, thanks dickholes. And then like he's like, and he's very uncooperative. Like, he's like, so like it's kind of like, there one scene that uh early in the show is where uh they get they capture an Imperial droid and it's full, and they were like, oh, it's like the very, oh, maybe we should keep him, and then Chopper just pushes him out of the ship to his death. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
That's
No,
great.
he's worth watching.
That's
I
fair.
haven't gotten into those yet. Once I get back on my Star Wars kick.
Rebels is as far as the Disney era of Star Wars go, I think it is one of the top tier series that they did. They, and they did a good job with it. Is it perfect? No. But it was a lot of fun, and I thought that with Filoni at the helm, they did what they did really well in the Clone Wars, and they had some good character growth. Some of it took a while, but it's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, speaking of another Disney series that is worth the watch, we're finally going to go over the last episode of season 1 of National Treasure. Seeing as I finally watched it.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, the movie was so good.
I'm gonna
This
go
is
back
like-
in time and steal your father's chance to be your father.
Oh,
So basically the plot of Back to the Future.
Yeah,
damn.
except you're not
Damn.
doing it to yourself.
Yeah,
Damn.
for real. You're not
Damn.
like ruining your own life.
Damn. Damn.
I'm my own grandpa.
So, have you guys watched it again recently, or is it just me that watched it? Okay, so picking up where they left off, Hendrix had just stabbed Agent Ross in the back with a giant ass sword, revealing himself as Salazar.
Oh.
Obviously, the Jess's friends come to her aid in several ways. Agent Ross turns out isn't dead; she's just real fucked up. They end up finding. Yeah, she wasn't dead yet. She was close. They eventually find the treasure. Jess and her father and her friends, and they call the FBI. They get the assistance of the FBI. Billy goes to jail. Everyone's all fine and dandy. They have this big exhibit now from the Pan American Treasure until oh, what the fuck's his name? Why am I forgetting his name?
Liam.
Oh, Liam. Thank you, Liam. Until Liam shows up at the exhibit with everyone, saying his grandfather left him a tape about the Pan American Treasure, and it included something else that may be another treasure.
Is it a giant?
And that's how they ended the
vibrator?
season. It could be a giant
Dude,
vibrator.
I hope it's a space butt plug.
Yes.
It's like a regular butt plug, but it's made from moon rocks and sadness.
Sadness.
That's amazing. That's
Oh
so,
my god. Forget
Jesus.
forget the 10 rings. Forget the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
Coming to
fuck.
you this fall,
Oh,
the
no.
Cosmic Butt Plug.
The
Um,
cosmic butt plug.
Yes. Yeah.
Marvel, you should be incorporating this into your shit.
Well, I mean,
Flick
they already
me,
have
Daddy.
the.
Flick
Well,
me.
well, look, they already have the devil's anus. So like
They do, in fact, have the devil's anus.
So like
Are you trying to remember where that's from, Dave?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Or are
because
you
that's
trying-
from Ragnarok.
Yeah, I was like, are you trying to come up with the cosmic
ye-
butthole? Or
No,
butt
I'm
plug?
trying to figure out if there already is something butt plug shaped that's cosmic.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, isn't that just a regular bubble?
Isn't that just a regular butt plug? What do you think, Brie?
I mean, it could
That's
be
fair.
whatever's up Captain Marvel's ass, I guess.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Dude, she is so and I'm not even. It's not Brie Larson's fault. I feel like they write that character very stiff.
Because she's kind of that way in the comics, but not really.
She's a lot funnier in the comics.
Yeah.
And I think they lost a lot of that, but they kept the like
Hard ass.
hard ass side of it, and it's not a good balance.
Mm.
Which is a shame because I like the character. The character is really hard to incorporate in shit because the character's power level is through the roof.
Right.
Over
Last-
9,000.
I laughed when she got punched in Endgame just because she was pissing me off.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, you
There
know
we
what
go.
wasn't pissing me off? National Treasure. So
Oh no!
what?
Oh no!
Oh.
Thank you for this, Lil.
What?
There is already a thing on Amazon called the letter B, yours Cosmic Plug, purple.
Oh
medium.
boy.
It's $12. This is
Wow.
the next MacGuffin. This is what Kang is after. It even fits his color palette.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
does
purple.
it?
It's purple.
Oh shit. Does it have like stars and shit on it?
Kinda.
Does it look like my background?
Messier, but yes.
Okay.
All right.
And more bichromatic.
Oh yeah.
It's
That's
more of a
fair.
two color. It's like a silver and purple as opposed to
Yeah.
or a light silver and a dark or a light purple and a dark purple, giving it the idea of like a metallic sheen, maybe.
So that's it right there, you guys. If you're listening to a deal from
the
us,
options
a
are
good
medium
deal.
or 4-inch, and
Ooh.
I don't know. Oh, 4-inch is apparently small.
Yeah.
So is that length or around?
Probably length.
Probably around.
I think it's length.
I was gonna say because that's like 4 inches
Diameter-wise?
around is narrow. It's like that.
Or is it
That's
4 inches in
something.
diameter?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys want a deal? Go buy that butt plug.
Not
There it is.
sponsored, but
But
yeah,
please
get
sponsor
ahead
us.
of the curve.
Yeah.
National treasure. We're looking at you.
And Lil, thank you so much for that.
That is amazing.
That's incredible.
But no, what did we think of the first season? Marcus, did you get a chance to watch it?
No, unfortunately. But first of all, I live under a rock and didn't even know that they were.
Making a show? That's fair.
So like I've seen like the first two movies. Are they
Yeah.
anything related to the movies with Nicolas Cage, or is this
Yeah.
completely?
No,
different?
they're related. They're
Oh,
related.
okay.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
a lot of the characters from the movies show up in
In the show.
the show.
Just not
Oh,
And
nice.
the
Nicolas
guy
Cage.
who is Salazar
was
Mhm.
in the movie.
was in the movie.
like
He was the
ori-
Putz FBI agent working under Peter
Sadusky.
Sadusky.
Like I don't remember the FBI presence much in
He
in the
was the
first
fuck
one.
up.
Yeah.
He was
He
the
was the one
fuck
that
up
didn't believe
FBI
them.
agent.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's there. Like I just
But they
yeah,
have Peter Sadusky in it for a minute. They
nice.
have that one FBI agent. Riley is actually in the show for a couple
Yes,
episodes.
Riley is based. I love Riley.
So no, it's a good watch. It's a good watch.
Yeah.
I very much so recommend. Bree, what did you think of the first season though?
I wouldn't have watched it if I wasn't on this show, but I'm glad that I did watch it because I really enjoyed it.
I mean, that's super fair.
Well, and it was like a nice adventure, right?
Yeah.
And we don't get a lot of those out of cinema anymore, where it's just a nice little
Yeah.
adventure story that has a little drama and a little,
Which I think is the charm of the National Treasure films in general. Because it's just like we do have kind of so much of like the same basic thing all the time now. And I think what National Treasure has always provided is, like Dave said, it's the same reason everyone loves Indiana Jones. It's just a fucking adventure movie. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, or for people who have seen the Librarian movies or the TV show The Librarians, same sort of vibe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just adventure.
Yeah.
And I think that that's super needed. But Disney didn't disappoint. They know how popular the National Treasure movies are.
Did they make them at first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize
and
it was.
and the show follows essentially the same like format as the movies. It's
Yeah.
basically
Right.
the same hero's journey where you have goal setting, discovery, setback, goal setting, discovery, setback, goal setting, discovery, setback, which
Right.
is a really good loop for adventure stories. Lots of adventure stories follow that same loop. Indiana
Yeah.
Jones uses that loop. The Librarian movies use that loop. National
Yep.
Treasure uses that loop. Fucking the Mummy movies use that loop.
Yes,
Like,
the Mummy movies.
That's just how you write an adventure story, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think. Yeah, I think. And I think as far as to your point of like we don't get like many adventure like movies anymore. Like I think one thing when I watched the original movie, I think the thing that I got out of it was that it was like authentic. Like, and some of them and some like yeah, I knew the story was kind of dumb. But like, it felt like it felt authentic, and I think that authenticity goes a long way. Like yeah,
and they live in the same realm as Indiana Jones, far-fetched,
Right.
but you could see how that could be a thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, like it's and they made a movie out of this, but like it's the same with the Uncharted franchise of the video games. Like that, a little bit more fanciful, but they, like playing Uncharted, any Uncharted is kind of like probably like
What are we timing out?
watching the
Oh, never mind. That's Mellow Yellow. I thought you had Pineapple Fanta. Pineapple Fanta is the shit.
It actually, and I don't like pineapple stuff, but it's actually good.
Dude, Pineapple Fanta
Pineapple
with
is
coconut rum
delicious.
makes the like easiest carbonated pina colada. You throw a little bit of crushed ice on that. Rim the glass with sugar.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Coconut sugar, in fact.
Now that we're talking about it, I was confused. Oh yeah, Dave's just stopping. We're timing out. We're literally gonna take a fucking
Okay,
break.
time in.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry, and I didn't mean to derail all of that, but I haven't seen Pineapple Fanta in forever, and I'm like, oh my god, did they bring it back? Because I think they discontinued it.
I don't think they did. I think it's just harder to find. I'm sure you can probably buy it somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, Marcus, definitely watch National Treasure.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
The show is worth it.
if you
Cool.
if you like that kind of adventure vibe, you'll
Yeah.
dig it. And I
Yeah.
totally get what you mean about some stuff feeling a lot more fabricated or a lot less
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah.
Like the first Mummy movie felt great. The second Mummy movie less so. And then by the time we get to, and I know you guys love The Rock, I do too, but Scorpion King was ass.
It wasn't
It
great.
was really
It
bad
wasn't
Yeah.
great.
CGI. It was
Fun
It
fact.
wasn't just the bad CGI though. The writing was
just a-
also.
yeah.
I've never seen it. I just know the really bad CGI.
Oh yeah, the CGI
Yeah.
was horrible,
Yeah.
but the writing was worse than the CGI.
Fun.
Bree.
Oh,
The
yeah.
writing was worse than it looked.
How could it be
I-
worse? It looks like a bad video game.
It did.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
because it was made during the same era that they were making games that looked like that, because
yeah.
that's where
That was-
technology was.
Like, yeah, I mean, that was the limit of the technology. Like, I mean, they could only do so much.
That
You
being
know,
said,
and-
the standalone Scorpion King, the first movie, was actually pretty good. But him, it was. I mean, it was pretty good.
Thank
The
you,
second
Gamer.
one sucked.
Apparently, it's the day to send Dave Amazon links. You can order Fanta Pineapple on Amazon.
Yeah, it was
Heck
probably
yeah.
like $20.
I see it every
It's
time I go to
$22
Walmart.
for a 12-pack.
Yeah,
Ooh.
dude, I used to have to do that with caffeine-free Dr. Pepper. That you
Oh.
can't find anymore.
Wow.
So for those
Also-
that don't know, I have a heart issue and I can't have caffeine. So like I have
Ah.
to be super careful about like sodas and drinks and stuff.
Oh.
I also can't have a lot of citrus because citrus is has natural caffeine.
Only
Boy.
downers for Chris, not uppers. That's why he's our Ian.
Basically.
Fun fact, I never thought I'd get paid money to play Godsmack and teach it to a child. But like
Oh, yeah,
you know,
it's so
the
great.
like that like I was working at the School of Rock. I had to teach a kid I Stand Alone theme song from the Scorpion Kid, baby.
Yeah.
By Godsmack. And
I've seen
yeah,
Godsmack twice live. They're fucking great. That
Do
song
they-
is a blast to play on
Do
guitar.
they smack God?
No, they're just a bunch of loud assholes from Boston,
Arr!
which fits in with our demographic of New England.
Stand alone.
Yeah. Oh,
Inside out!
keep
Yeah.
keep them in your head because they're gonna
Stand
come up later.
alone.
Okay. I'll be ready to smack God.
Die. Stand alone. There we go.
Bree, seeing as you went to go see Cocaine Bear this week, I think now's a good time to talk about last weekend's box office numbers. Can anyone take a guess at what number one was?
I
Cocaine
hope it-
Bear.
I
No,
hope
it was
no.
not
Was
Cocaine
it?
Bear.
It was
Was Jesus
Avatar, the Way of
Revolution?
Water.
It wasn't. It was Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah, 'cause Ant-Man came out.
Yeah, bringing 32
Yes.
million last weekend, bumping it up
Yes.
to 167 million. I
Yes.
believe that is just United States numbers.
Look,
Cocaine
s-
Bear was close though.
I saw
it-
it the day before it came out in Real D 3D because that's the only tickets you could get for it.
Yeah,
So I paid
And?
like $18 a piece for a pair of tickets to go see
Ooh.
Quantumania in 3D. So
I paid 53 cents.
the 3D
Damn.
experience was
That's amazing.
interesting.
Was it?
It's come a long way. It wouldn't do shit for you, Chris.
yeah. I actually can't see 3D,
No,
but I can use VR, which doesn't make sense.
it does make sense. They work very differently.
Fair, but no, yeah, I actually can't see things in 3D.
Yeah, no, because it requires
You need
Both
Uh,
the
eyes.
colors.
Yeah.
well, because it's a trick of how depth perception works and how
Yeah.
they do it. But if you have bad depth perception or are blind in one eye like Chris is, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an interesting experience. And it's a good movie. We will be talking about it next Wednesday. That's when our cone of silence, we'll call it.
And I'm hoping to have
lifts.
seen it by then.
You better have seen it by then. If not, we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll
Spill
have
all
you
of
do
it.
like little kitty
Tell him
earmuffs.
everything.
What?
I said we spoil all of it and tell him
Oh.
everything.
Turns out the pants weren't actually magic, and the middle sister dies. I'm sorry if I just ruined Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants for anyone. But
the movie came out 20 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah, so fuck you.
Oswald killed Kennedy.
Did he though? Did he?
According
Have you
to
seen a lot of the files that have been made public? There's a lot of
questions.
We won't talk about Mando because I won't watch it.
Yeah.
Danger.
I'm boycotting. I actively boycott Star Wars properties.
Yeah, we make a point to never talk about Star Wars because, well, we saw the first literally 45 minutes of the show.
That's.
And this is any time it's brought up.
Oh.
Dave has to let us know how he feels about Star Wars.
Because
Here
I
we go
feel it's an
again.
important thing to talk about. And it was all over like
See, this is
fractions of a percentage. Brie
Like-
always looks cute.
Yeah, it's the
Danger.
braids.
Mm.
Hey, you know what movie was third in the box office? Jesus Revolution. And it did almost $16 million last weekend. I didn't even know it was
but
a
it's been
fucking
third
movie.
but it's been third for like 3 weeks now.
No, it came out last weekend.
Okay, so it's been
Wow.
third for 2 weeks, which isn't bad for a movie most of us hadn't heard of.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
I
But-
heard of it.
Well,
Yeah,
you live
but
in the
you
South.
live where the banjos play when you go too far off the road, and they tell you you got a purred mouth.
Yep, that's accurate.
Every time I went to the movie theaters, that trailer would play, but it would always play after the most strange trailers to play, and then play Jesus.
Like
That
Debbie
shit
Does
is
Dallas
so
2
good.
Electric Boogaloo in theaters
Electric
this May.
Boogaloo.
And
Oh, no.
then,
Oh no.
do you love Jesus? So do we. Jesus is back, and this time he has an AK-47
It's an
and an
AK-47.
M1 Abrams tank.
So basically, an Electric Boogaloo Boy's wet dream.
Yep.
It's like,
It would go from like Cocaine Bear to Evil Dead Rise to Jesus Revolution. I'm like, do we need the Jesus after seeing these two trailers?
Fucking Cocaine Bear.
No, I live in the Midwest, gamer. So, like, I also fall into that category, but I also don't watch over-the-air television.
yeah.
And I typically don't get a lot of ads on things I watch on my computer.
And Marcus and I live in New England where nobody gives a fuck about anything as long as you're not in their way.
Yep.
I say, am I wrong? That is the most accurate depiction of
Unless-
fucking New England.
Unless you're a choir boy, and then everybody's immediately concerned. Because old Father Flanagan, who left the Lord's employ,
Yeah.
drunk on sacramental
yeah.
wine beneath the altar boy.
Yeah, it sounds like Boston.
New England.
Yeah.
Dude, when people say New England, I think of 3 places.
Where?
New York,
Yep.
Boston, and
Yep.
Philadelphia. And
And you know what the
Pennsylvania isn't even technically in New England.
Neither is New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But do
Dave
you know
thinks
why
of 3
those
places
places
and
are
only
New
one of them.
No.
Because they're all northeast.
Well, but do you
Yeah.
know why they're all New England to me?
Because they're
What?
giant cities.
No.
Oh.
Because New England was categorized for a long time as the first 13 colonies. That's what they called
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So
Right.
to me, New
Oh, yeah.
England is the entire East Coast, and I can't,
He can't differentiate what.
like, my
what is-
brain will not on the fly differentiate. So if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
on the East
yeah.
Coast, it's part of New England,
I had someone tell me that,
including
like,
Virginia sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
I tend to make it
Yeah.
more north, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it literally goes from Connecticut up.
right.
Which is
Yeah.
funny. I had someone tell me they're like Connecticut doesn't bring any historical value to New England. I don't know why it's part of New England. I'm like, the fucking Declaration of Independence was it was the Constitution was signed here.
Was it?
I was
really?
like, yeah,
Well,
there's a
not to
reason it's
mention-
called the
Not
Constitution.
to
State.
mention, during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln sent a time traveler back to King Arthur's court with
Yeah.
like matches and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
how-
what?
Mark Twain.
You want-
Mark
you wanna know
Twain.
some-
Mark Twain wrote a textbook about it. It's called "The Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court."
And you know what's
Um,
funny? Mark
Nice.
Twain from Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of
So
our
fuck you,
one,
Connecticut haters. We have
Yeah.
cool shit.
Yeah,
Also,
one
Seth
of
MacFarlane's from Connecticut.
yeah. And Joe Rogan can stop shitting on our
You-
state without
which
even living here.
You know what
He
though?
can go
He's
fuck
not.
off.
He's not wrong.
I don't care. Like
He's so not wrong.
I don't care.
Have you
Like,
heard his bit, Dave?
no,
he's
what?
Just like
He talks about how Connecticut. He goes, Connecticut's a terrible place to live. He goes, basically
I don't trust those people.
I mean,
And I'm
he's not wrong. Well, he goes, it's basically a highway between New York and Boston. You ever talk to anyone in Connecticut? They have no hope. I was like, yeah, you ain't wrong.
I was gonna
Like,
say,
it hurts.
I know
It hurts the
a
fuck.
very small number of people who live in Connecticut. 2 of them are on screen right now. Yeah, that tracks.
It's super, like, it hurts, but it's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Like, you
And,
can't be mad at somebody.
We're pissed off at everything all the time.
SISU.
What?
I
What-
okay.
Dude,
Okay.
John Wick, I'm excited
Story
for that
time.
fucking movie too.
Truth time. Secret time.
Well, okay.
I've never seen a John Wick movie.
Oh,
Neither
dude,
have
they're
I.
so
The
fucking
Keanu Reeves
good.
movie.
All right, have you seen?
You've
have
never
you seen
seen
Taken?
a Keanu Reeves movie?
Never
What?
seen any of the Matrix. Haven't seen what's that one, Bill and Ted or whatever
Oh,
it's
dude, Bill and
called.
Ted's
I've
great.
never seen John Wick. Yeah, no, I've never seen a Keanu Reeves movie.
Wait. Did you watch anyone play Cyberpunk?
No, but I know
Okay.
he's the like face in it.
Yeah, he's Johnny Silverhand. But
Yeah,
what else has Keanu been in that she could have seen?
there's a lot of shit Keanu's been in.
His head
Speed,
pops up in one of the
Point
SpongeBob
Break.
movies, but that's past my time.
Okay,
Go-
Bree, when
Yes.
when we have gone through all of the Ryan Reynolds movies, it will then transition to Keanu Reeves appreciation corner.
because that man needs to be
Oh.
appreciated. Yes, it's happening.
Okay.
You're gonna watch, and you're gonna like it.
Okay,
So wait. Can
Speed.
question?
That's the one that was
Yeah,
in my head, but
Speed.
I couldn't think of. Thank you.
What's up, Marcus?
Is Ryan Reynolds really
The
Is
what?
Ryan Reynolds really what?
is he really the CEO of Mint?
Yes,
Yeah.
Like legitimate? Oh,
Mhm.
legitimately, he liked the idea behind their company, and he's like, "Hey, you guys seem to like be doing it right and give a shit about your customers. Can I buy you?" And they went, "I'm sorry, what?" And he said, "Can I buy you?" And they went, here you go."
okay.
He also owns a professional soccer team and is in the process of buying an NHL team,
Ah,
And
which would
Didn't
be
they
the
make a
Ottawa
movie last
Senators.
year about his
I believe he owns a
team?
controlling share of Aviation Gin as well.
He does. Yes.
ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I kind of didn't expect that.
Oh yeah,
So,
dude. Ryan
like,
Reynolds is killing it.
Yeah. Like
Yo, this
I-
movie's
Yeah.
name, this movie's tagline is "Vengeance is golden."
That is great.
what movies?
They peeing on people?
Sisu.
Sisu.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
He
Keanu owns a
does.
motorbike building company.
He's also big into motorcycles. He's always been
Um,
big into motorcycles.
But you know what made me go, "Oh, I love this man" for the first time with Keanu Reeves?
What?
When The Matrix was done filming and hit the box office,
Yeah.
right? He felt like all of the off-screen talent, the, grips, production assistants, camera operators, etc., weren't paid well enough.
Right.
So he took half of what he made from that movie and gave them all more money.
He's
Good
such
for
a good
him.
fucking person, man.
Yeah, good for him, man.
He's starring in the John Wick movies because the guy who wrote and directed them was a camera operator on The Matrix.
Yeah.
Because he
That's
got to
cool.
know these people and he gave a shit about their hopes and dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
this guy
Yeah.
got a hold of Keanu and he's like, "Hey, look, I have this role. I think you'd be great for it. And honestly, if you sign on, I think I'll have a better chance of getting it picked up."
That
Yep.
comes out this month too, by the way. The new John Wick.
That's cool. That's good. Now, yeah. Keanu's a real one. You know,
Yeah,
like
But yeah,
dude.
no, he's just a solid fucking dude.
yeah,
And he's
Yeah,
been
he's so
through so
genuine.
much bullshit.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Like-
very true.
Like, what was it? Like 12 or 15 years ago, his pregnant girlfriend died?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
She got hit by a drunk driver.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
know
he's
that.
been
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, dude, Keanu's fucking all time.
Yeah,
yeah, no,
Keanu
all
Reeves
of
is
them
the
were at the
man.
premiere because
Yeah.
in his mind, they were just as integral and important to that film being made as anyone else was.
Oh yeah,
Well,
well
I
they
mean-
were, you know.
well, I mean
yeah,
that's
oh yeah.
well that's kind of the thing. Like, I mean, it's especially with movies, right? Like, it's such a production. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's those a lot of those jobs that you don't see behind, you know, are like are they're trades essentially.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well,
that-
look at the
and-
credits
and-
roll. That's
yeah,
the
and it's-
population of a small fucking town on every movie.
It really is.
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know, like it's you know, so much time and effort goes into by thousands of people who, you know, will never, you know, see the I don't want to say light of day, but like,
The
you know,
spotlight.
yeah, like, you know, like in but yeah, no, it's good for him. Good for him. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good that's
And
a
I-
that's a good
It-
move.
Well, and it's one of the, I guess, most surprising things in my opinion, at least,
Yeah.
is that he got famous kind of really young. Like for that
Right.
time when like
Right.
especially like when Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out, right?
Yeah, he
Right,
was probably like early 20s.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
want to say late teens, early 20s. Like he might not have been 20 yet.
Yep. So
Um,
yeah. So he was kind of a child star himself.
And
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
was able to stay humble and grateful.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
I mean, he's
Yep.
just such which not only speaks leagues to the man's character, but
Mhm.
like I'm also going to credit his parents some for that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No, you have to. I mean,
You know.
you have to. You know, like because
you
like,
don't
yeah.
raise that kind of human being as a person and not yourself be good people.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true.
exactly. Yep.
he
Unless
was
you are such
21.
horrible people that this person just wants to be the entire opposite.
Yep.
Right.
So he either had like a nightmare childhood or like he had a loving, you know what I mean? Like those are
Yep.
the only two options for making that kind of person.
Yep. Yep.
I would like to say that I have seen a movie that Keanu Reeves is in.
Oh
What?
no, what was it?
Toy Story 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He plays Duke Kaboom.
It's not a Keanu Reeves movie, but it's a movie he is in.
He
There
is
we
he is
go.
technically in it. No, so he was born in 68. So 89 is when the first Bill and Ted movie came out. So he was what, 21?
yeah.
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 I was gonna say I know he was like young.
Yeah, he
Yup.
was super young. I mean, and he's had so many great movies with The Matrix, Speed. He was in The Devil's Advocate.
Yo, I
he was
always forget
also-
how good that movie is.
He was also
too.
fucking John Constantine.
Oh my god, Constantine's also so good.
A movie that I feel like kind of doesn't get enough love that he's in, which is honestly I think my favorite movie. He was in this baseball movie in 2001 called Hardball. For those that haven't seen it,
Oh,
he's a baseball coach in an inner city league.
Oh.
Coaches black kids play baseball.
Yeah.
And it's such a phenomenal fucking movie.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know
I
how
heard
well
that
it did.
danger, but I haven't seen it confirmed anywhere. I saw it in like a rumor mill post. So if like anybody has like an official statement from them saying they're making another Constantine, I'm not gonna lie, that gets me so fucking hard.
Yeah, I hope it's MCU.
Nice.
And I hope fucking
nice.
Keanu
It
Reeves
won't,
plays.
no. Constantine can't be MCU because
Not DC.
Constantine is a Vertigo property, which is owned by DC Comics.
Oh, that's right, DC. Yes, that's what. Yeah. So if they could tie it to the
Be in the
DCU,
DCU.
Oh,
yeah, if they
I
could tie it to
guarantee
the
you they're
DCU in
going
some way.
to, because the only reason that they would be making like with their new plan for the roadmap, that 100% makes sense why they would bring Constantine in, though,
Yeah.
because it very much feels like we might be getting a Justice League Dark.
Oh, which would be dope. But again, like they have to make Keanu Reeves Constantine in the DCU if you're gonna do it.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
you got to do
he
it
did
right.
such. As long as he wants to do it, he did such a good fucking job the first time round.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Which is, I mean, he was in he was in Justice League of Super Pets, which he
Oh,
plays.
that's
He
true.
voices Batman. Which, by the
two
way,
movies
that
I've
movie
seen
was
him in.
actually really good.
I'm Batman.
Batman. That's right. They made it between the two between two ferns movie. He's in that. Holy shit.
And
But
it's
no,
two
like the
Keanu
John.
Reeves movies I've seen.
Well, hey, that's better than nothing. But John Wick Volume 4 does come out, or I'm sorry, Chapter 4. It does come out this month. Not this weekend though. There are some movies coming out this weekend.
What are they?
Creed. Well, the notable ones. Creed 3 drops this weekend. I
Okay.
was gonna say 2, but it's Creed 3. Operation Fortune, which it looks like a spy comedy, an action comedy.
Oh yeah.
Jason Statham's in it. Aubrey
Yep.
Plaza, Hugh
Yep.
Grant.
Yep. I've seen the previews for that.
Josh
Yep.
Hartnett's in it too. It looks really good. I love Jason Statham. He's great. And Aubrey Plaza is IRL Wednesday Addams. So
Is she the Wednesday Addams in Wednesday, or is that's somebody else, right?
but her personality is literally just Wednesday as an
Oh, right. Yeah.
Deadpan, dry humor, just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's 100%.
It
Because
is.
they
It
did
is
something.
Jenna Ortega in Wednesday, and she
So
does
they
a
did
fantastic
something.
job. If you haven't seen Wednesday,
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
watch
it's
it.
so good.
Oh.
They did something at an award show where they had Jenna and Aubrey Plaza like together presenting an award, and they just like
hilarious.
they just monotone like dry humor joke to
Oh,
each other
nice.
the whole time and do
Nice.
this whole bit, and it's so great.
That's
Yo,
good.
we were talking about the cello didn't get enough love when I was a kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wednesday showcases how beautiful of an instrument
fucking
the cello can be.
crushes it.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm so I don't think her playing is what they recorded,
Probably
but
not.
when she's playing, it looks like she's actually playing,
Cool.
Yeah,
which is cool. Because you don't get a lot of that, right?
Nope.
But it's like we talked about that with Liam, because when Liam was playing guitar and singing, that was Liam singing. It was probably also him playing the guitar in National Treasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I looked it up and it said that it's actually him playing. I
Okay.
can't remember.
Because
I
it
wouldn't be
looks
surprised.
like it looks like he's playing what the guitar sounds are making.
Might not be
'Cause-
live, but he might have recorded it in a studio,
Oh,
and it's just
yeah.
kind of mimic.
They that's kind of like how you do it. It's
You can't
You
record
record-
music live for
Yeah.
a movie. You fucking
no,
can't.
yeah, it just
They-
doesn't work.
So yeah. So yeah. And actually having while I was away from the show, I actually got called to be a drummer in a movie that's and that was the process that we did shooting for the of the filming for that. We would take the video first and then record the audio separate, and then the editors mix
That
it
is
together.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll I don't know if I can post the trailer yet, but when I can, I will.
Fuck yeah,
And
dude.
So yeah.
Look at our boy in a movie. Fucking
From
legendary.
bloodydisgusting.com, Constantine 2, Warner Brothers confirms that the Keanu Reeves sequel is still happening. Thank you again, Lil.
Dude, Lil killing it.
Hey, Lil, do you just want to join our writing staff?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Do you want to help us out here?
Because you're finding this shit a lot faster than I can.
Yeah.
I am excited for next Friday. For a movie that does come out. It is called 65. If you have not seen it, it's a futuristic action movie that features Adam Driver. He is apparently flying in space and crash lands on a planet that is full of dinosaurs. It's basically the Earth, but 65 million years ago.
Sick.
So fucking-
wait, are we sure that he didn't just accidentally fall into the MCU into the Savage Lands?
You know what? There's a good chance.
Is it a Disney movie?
No.
No.
Okay, he's not in the Savage Lands.
No.
I
But-
thought you were talking about a different movie coming out next weekend.
What other one comes out next weekend?
Scream
Oh, Scream.
6.
Oh, Scream 6, yeah. I mean, I'll go see it. I've seen all the other Scream movies.
I already
Like,
have
it looks good.
See, okay, so here's my thing.
Oh.
Watching a movie because you've seen all of the other movies is a really bad way to watch movies because the franchise is like, oh, people are still into this, rather than, oh, I might miss something. Right? So, like,
I'm a horror movie buff though. Like, so if it's part of an iconic
fair,
series,
but,
I'll see it.
Well, like, it's the same thing as the WoW phenomena. Like, even WoW players are like, God, I'm surprised this game is still around. It's because you fuckers keep playing it.
Yeah. That's fair.
They'll keep making the movies as long as you guys keep going and watching them. That's how
That's-
Jason and the Fast and the Furious crew both wound
Ended
up
up
in fucking space.
Yeah.
Ended up in
Because they know if they make it, you'll watch it. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is.
we do it for fame.
There's more Friday the 13th content supposed to be coming out relatively soon.
Yeah, it's Jason Does Dallas, where he goes around and fucks half of Dallas, winds up with syphilis, and fucking
No.
dies. That could
Wow.
be the plot of the movie, and you guys would still go fucking watch it.
Yeah,
That's
we
why they
would.
keep making
it's
this
a prequel series. It's a prequel
Welcome
series.
to a long
about-
missed segment. Dave fucking rants.
Brazzers.
Yeah, we missed this fucking segment. Yeah, Viking, you would do it just to be an asshole because you want to do the opposite of what everyone else says.
Yeah.
You are literally like the things from Cat in the Hat. You are our thing one.
There we go.
Thing two.
There we go.
Thing 2 lives
There we-
under my desk,
Thing 2 is Zach.
That?
mostly because I'm sitting at it.
Thing 1 and Thing 2 are Zach and Viking.
There we go.
Absolutely. Here for the chaos, and that's Jason bagged the Dallas. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. That's fair.
The
But
title
no, and
of
that's
the
the
movie may
thing that
not be
people
what's
don't
going
understand. They're like,
on.
I mean, the last 4 movies in this franchise haven't been great, but maybe this one will be good.
Because
No.
the remake was
Stop-
fucking awful.
Stop.
The remake was amazing.
The remake was so bad. I loved
is
the
one of the
original
better-
fucking.
It's one of the
Movie.
better horror movie remakes out there. Nightmare on Elm Street, that was terrible.
So,
The
speaking of
Psycho
like,
remake, that was terrible.
speaking of like remakes and sequels, before I returned, I right before Top Gun Maverick dropped, I had watched the original and didn't give it a fake review, but I just watched Maverick a couple days ago, and I have to say, it's a lot. I like it better than the first movie. Like I thought it was just that an example of the sequel being better than the original was rare. I think it just was a lot more cohesive for me.
See,
And
That's fair. I love the original.
Yeah.
it's
I didn't
classic.
see Maverick
Me-
because I hated Top Gun.
that's see, like if we're doing originals, I am with Dave. I think Hunt for the Red October is an infinitely better type of movie
I also didn't like Hunt for the Red October.
Well,
I mean, but
okay.
that's comparing apples to oranges. Like it's a better movie, but it's a different movie.
But I also generally don't like movies based around wartime.
Yeah.
Well, see, like that's the thing is like Hunt
I
for the Red October
it's not that they're bad, it's that I'm disinterested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
fine.
guess.
That's fine. That's fine. But
Unless it's the first Captain America movie. That's the
Ah,
only wartime movie out.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Like adventure type movies set during World War II, I fuck with.
that's
Like realistic.
Oh fuck,
that's like
what's
Indiana Jones.
well, or like the Hellboy stuff,
Oh, I forgot about Hellboy.
dude. Hellboy, fucking, oh. Mm. And Ron
yeah.
Perlman can still fucking get it.
Oh yeah. I didn't like the remake that they made for that one.
I didn't
But
see
no,
it.
the first two fucking
Ron
Hellboy
Perlman,
movies were awesome.
looks like he's perpetually in 1942.
Oh yeah.
It's like his face.
He's such a badass still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, pretty lady, where'd you come from? You're still muted.
I am. You are correct. I joined because I wanted to introduce everybody to Callie Ray.
Oh.
She's our new kitten.
Oh.
We just picked her up today. Clara hates her, so she's hiding in my room right now.
Clara will eventually love her. All
Yeah.
cats are like that.
Yeah. But look at, she's got thumbs.
Oh, so I had a cat that was like that. She's so cute.
Isn't she so sweet?
Oh,
So sorry
Oh.
to bust in on the show, but
that's
it
right.
was worth
We need more LTN Media mascots.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
And I love how they're all almost all of them are cats.
right.
Look, I'm just a fan of pussy.
Yes, Dave.
Yes.
But yeah, so
Captain
she's like
America is one of
11
our
weeks up.
favorite mascots.
Yes. But yeah, little
If we
Callie
knew we
Ray.
wouldn't get sued, we could make Captain America content, but
There it is.
we don't want to piss off the mouse.
Just name Lieutenant USA.
There
we
we
could.
go. Yeah.
Anyway,
Dave goes, hold on, I think you're onto something. But there are a good amount of movies dropping in March. We have Shazam, Fury of the Gods will be out. That random ass pinball movie that they're making.
Yo,
Yeah.
okay, hang on. No, you said pinball and it reminded me of a dream I had the night before last.
Oh God.
oh God.
So we all lived in a city that was built like a giant pinball machine, and to get around, we would hop in little gyro balls with like windows on them. They would roll and bing, bing,
Like
bing, bing, bing,
Jurassic
bing
Park
around to
style?
get to places. It was
That
fucking
shit is-
wild.
Yeah, that sounds like
It
You
was
know,
cool. Everything
Yeah.
was like neon and hot sex. It was amazing.
neon and hot sex. Marcus, this might actually be something that you'd be interested in.
Yeah, what's up?
There is a documentary that is coming out this month called Jimmy and Stevie Ray Vaughan, Brothers in Blues.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. It talks about the story of Jimmy and Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
told
Oh,
by those who knew them best: Brother Jimmy, Eric Clapton, Nile Rodgers, Jackson Brown, Billy Gibbons, and a bunch others.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw that and I was like, who do I know that loves Stevie Ray as much as I do?
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yo.
He's
I
He
still
was-
regard him as one of the top 5 guitarists ever. Like,
Oh yeah.
Look.
yeah. I mean, like he's up there. Like it. I didn't get it until like I saw the like iconic city limit Austin City Limits footage, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand.
Oh
why,
yeah.
like um, yeah, no, it's he's quite a player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what and he has now um in the guitar world, like he's one of those guitarists that has like somewhat of a mythic status.
Oh
um
yeah.
and not only just because of like his like tech, like the like licks and chops he had under his fingers, but some of the gear is kind of hollowed as well, like even down to like the strings. Like it's rumored that he used like obscenely like thick guitar strings
That
on his
tracks.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
like 13s, like, and like that, like they were like, if like a normal person were like almost like unbendable
Oh
for
yeah.
for him. So like, and it had to do something with the sound, I don't know, but
That's
yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was coming out this month. Apparently, the new Children of the Corn is coming out this year.
Jesus. I never
so
saw
Is it
the
a
first one.
remake or is it a continuation of like the 20 movies that are already out?
no, it's a remake.
Look, can we stop giving corn a bad name? I live in
I
the
went
Midwest,
in
It's
guys.
corn.
a cornfield today. I
And
went
it's
in a cornfield. I
Uh,
went
it's set in
also-
the same state you're from too, Dave. So,
Movie pitch.
oh boy.
Yeah.
We have a movie set in like the late 1970s, early 1980s, right?
Yeah.
We're talking like washed out color palettes and stuff. Think kind of how Joker looks color palette wise, right? Like washed out like old footage color palettes, right?
Yep.
And it's an adventure story a la, The Mummy, Indiana Jones, National Treasure, etc., whatever. But the entire soundtrack and the movie is written around using Steve Miller Band's catalog as the soundtrack.
Aha!
I love it.
All right.
I'm in.
All right.
Hey,
Alien lands. They find out they're aliens, alien lands. And then you just hear the opening line of the Joker. Some people call me a space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice.
What? Wow.
Because I speak of the pompatus of love.
Yep.
That's such a good song.
Oh, it's so good.
That
The
is a
Steve
great
Miller
song.
Band is so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
have enough good tracks that you could do that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That
Like
song
you
is
could
such a-
score an entire movie with Steve Miller Band and it would be fine.
That's fair. That is super fair.
The movie name Simply Miller. Love
Simply
it.
Miller.
Yes.
I'm here
I
for
like
it. I'm here for it.
I like that.
So we mentioned earlier about Ryan Reynolds, and we're starting a little segment to where we like to, we're gonna call it the appreciation corner, and it's gonna change from time to time from the actor or actress. But this week it is Ryan Reynolds appreciation tour.
Hell
And
yeah.
so three of us got together and watched a movie that he was in, and we want to talk a little bit about it. It's called Waiting. It's a film from 2005, and it's got a lot of fucking people in it. Ryan
It
Reynolds
does.
is in it. Justin Long is in it. Anna Faris is in it. Luis Guzman. David Koechner, who, if you guys have ever seen Anchorman, he plays Champ Kind.
Oh yeah.
John
Oh,
Francis Daly was in it. Caitlin Doubleday. Let's see, Andy Milonakis.
Andy Milonakis was
Andy
in a movie?
Milonakis was in it. Dave Cook was in it. Emmanuel Chikri, who, if you guys have ever seen the Entourage, she was in that. Like, it just some of these names that were 100% big in the mid 2000s. And this is one
remember-
of Dane Cook's first movies.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. I remember like seeing trailers for that on
this
coming out.
movie, if memory serves, this movie is what landed Dane Cook the lead in Employee of the Month.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
'Cause
so.
he was good in
Which-
this movie.
He was good
Oh,
in
he was
Employee
so
of the
good
Month.
in this movie.
Dude,
Yeah.
if Dane
Yeah.
Cook had been like, "Yo, I'm dried up and I
Yeah.
can't write as many jokes," write less
He would've been
jokes,
great as
be
an
in more
actor.
movies, and then
Yeah.
wait to do a new comedy special until you have enough jokes to do a comedy special. And
There
he
you
would
Don't
have
go.
been
steal
fine.
people's shit. Yeah, don't steal people's shit and get called out for it.
But
and lose your
instead,
entire
him and
fucking
Carlos
career.
Mencia in basically the same year
Oh,
got
Carlos
called out for doing the
Mencia.
same shit.
by
Yeah.
two different people.
Right.
Carlos Mencia. Do you remember how big a deal like both of them were? Like
Yeah.
Carlos Mencia was like the rising star.
Oh, he was huge.
I remember like you couldn't go down the hallways and like without going.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
You know, like that was, you know, yeah, shit was wild.
Yeah,
man.
and then he got
He's-
called out. He got called out by Joe Rogan, and
Mhm.
then
really?
Dane Cook got
Of all
called out.
people, like,
Who the fuck called out Dane Cook? And it was on stage too. Both of these happened to them on stage. I want to say it was Bill Burr
Okay.
that
think
called
you're
out Dane
right.
Cook. I could be wrong. I want to say it was Bill Burr.
I feel like Bill Burr was like Dane Cook's dad.
But Bill Burr is everyone's dad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bill Burr is. Everybody is. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go eat dinner, but I wanted to introduce.
Thanks
you
for
to
stopping by, Danger.
and me. Thanks for
But
indulging
yeah,
my.
So
so
fucking cute.
Isn't
if-
she adorable?
She is so cute. I miss when my cats were that little big and
Right.
assholes.
Hi,
Bean.
Bean.
Hi, Bean. Can we get a shout out for Bean before you leave Danger?
Yes.
Oh, this is Viking. Let Viking do his job.
Oh, a Viking, shout yourself out too.
There, I got Bean. You can do Viking. No, he says.
Or don't. Fine. We don't care.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your show. I'll be lurking.
Okay.
Bye.
Get a special appearance from Danger. How fucking great is that?
So this movie does not necessarily. Ryan Reynolds' character is kind of a.
Not
Ryan
a great
Reynolds is the
person.
worst part of this movie.
Yeah, his character is the douchebag in the movie.
Nice.
Like take his Van Wilder douchebag, which we're actually probably going to watch at some point this week,
Oh, it's such a good movie.
and have Van Wilder's douche level be at like a 2. Monty's douche level from Waiting is like
11.
80.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
But like,
But he's good at it and he's
Yeah.
funny.
yeah.
Is he the main protagonist in? or
No.
Is he the antagonist?
No, he's just a random side character.
Okay.
Yeah, and this
Who
movie
would be
doesn't really
considered the main?
follow, like a traditional script, or like a
Right.
traditional movie type, I suppose.
Yeah.
But honestly,
There
it's a good
isn't a main
watch.
character, and it's a movie about nothing. It is Seinfeld, but for our generation. in movie
Basically.
form.
Right. And
Basically.
it's about like working in like a chili.
Kind of, yeah.
Basically,
Chili's
yeah.
adjacent, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's
I
a good
remind
movie.
myself of
I
2005.
you what?
I had to keep reminding myself this movie was made
Oh
in
yeah.
2005.
Oh yes. Oh
It's-
yes.
Now, in 2005, it was bad
Sketchy, yeah, at
but
best.
because
was
it is
2005.
like 50% satire and 50% these people have definitely worked in food service.
yeah.
Like from
Lot
a
of
writer's
bush-
perspective.
Yeah.
But it's still definitely a worth it watch. I think it's a movie that people should see just to form their own fucking opinion on it. The movie had a budget of $3 million, 18.6 million in the box office. It was released in October 2005, and it was distributed by Lionsgate Films. Waiting.
The
N-
Jake
and not-
Justin Long. That was a bad way to try to remember his name, Dave.
Yeah.
But it's got everybody in it.
Yeah. It has a full. It has a 4.8 out of 10. It has a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, but like it's one of those movies that it's not gonna be for everyone.
I classify it in the same category that I classify most of the more modern National Lampoon stuff, or
Yeah.
the
American Pie.
Broken Lizard stuff.
Yeah.
I call it frat boy humor,
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
lot like the American Pie movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
or Beer Fest, or
Yep.
yeah, it's along those lines. It's a raunchy satirical comedy,
Yep. Yep.
which the
Yeah.
Yep.
fucking mid 2000s were great for. Club Dread was fucking amazing though.
Dawn of the Dead was good. The remake of Dawn of the Dead, because it was definitely not as serious as you would have expected it to
yeah.
be. They're just sitting on
Get
top
up,
of a
come
mall
on.
picking people off, just
No,
holding
no,
up signs.
no. Them fucking on weightlifting equipment with Richard Cheese's Down with the Sickness playing in the back.
Yeah.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Your mother, get up. Come on, get down with the sickness. You fucker, get up. Come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it flow into me.
I forgot about
Richard Cheese.
Cheese.
Richard
Yeah.
Cheese. But
Dude,
no, it's
Richard Cheese so good.
if you think about like we appreciate looking at Ryan Reynolds' his career and where it really started, with this
Just
movie, like
looking at
Dave
Ryan
mentioned,
Reynolds.
Van Wilder, like
Yep.
Eventually I
Those
want to get
style
to
of
stuff
movies.
like The Recruit,
yeah,
which is one of his more serious roles, and as much
Safe
as I love
House.
as Safe House. Safe House was the one I was thinking of. The Recruit is Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Safe House is the one I was
Safe
thinking
House, yeah, it's the one with Denzel.
of. But Safe House,
so good.
like, I love Deadpool. I love Van Wilder. I love all of these movies, right?
Yeah.
But my favorite movie that he is in has to be Safe House.
Oh yeah.
It is. So that's on the list of stuff to watch. And moving forward, if you guys want to watch with us, we might be able to do that. We might be able to do watch parties for these.
I did love him in the Amityville Horror remake. He played a really good part
in that movie.
He was in Ted for a moment. He was also in A Million Ways to Die in the West. He was awesome in Detective Pikachu. Six Underground was a great movie. Free Guy was a great movie.
Free Guy was so fucking wholesome.
It was so good.
Like, it was disgustingly sugar pop wholesome, but in like the best way.
He was in Adventureland, that's right.
What about Blade Runner 2049?
I mean, that's good, but that's Ryan Gosling. That's the other Canadian Ryan.
Well, okay. Well,
that is a
neither
good movie,
of them
though.
to be confused with Jerry Ryan, who was the hot cyborg lady from Star Trek Voyager.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes. 7 of 9.
7 of 9.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah,
is he in?
she's fucked.
He was in, I believe, the third Blade movie.
He was.
He
was
was
Blade Trinity.
Hannibal fucking Cade.
We didn't, Lil, but I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's really fucking good.
That's actually on our list because that's one of the newer ones that he did.
Yeah, and it's on fucking Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
So
Smoking
actually,
Aces, you know what? We started with one of his earliest movies. Do we want to do the Adam Project this week and go with one of his most recent?
We can. I mean, he was also in. He was apparently in an uncredited cameo in Bullet Train.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Spirit, I do want to.
But Ryan Reynolds seems like the kind of guy who hears that an interesting movie is filming and will just show up at their set.
No.
And they'll be like, "Hey, do you want to be in this?" He's like,
"Yeah,
yeah, sure."
Oh yeah, I mean, I got some Mint Mobile stuff to do, but I'll come by after,
He was in Hobbs and Shaw. That's right. He played one of one of the CIA detectives.
There we go.
It was great.
He's in one of the only rom-coms I like.
With The Proposal?
Yes.
Honestly, The Proposal's really good because fucking Betty White is in it.
Oh,
Yes.
So it's Ryan Reynolds and Sandra
Betty
Bullock.
White, the best thing immediately before sliced bread.
Yes.
Sliced bread was invented the year after she was born.
Yep.
Uh,
What else is
R.I.P.
he in?
Betty
We
White.
can just ignore Green Lantern.
Dude, no,
When I was
fuck you.
little,
Green
I
Lantern is
liked it.
good.
When I was
Like,
little,
It's
I
a
liked
It's
bad
not
it.
movie,
bad.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It got a lot more hate than it deserved.
He's been in a lot of movies that are, really fucking good.
In X-Men Origins.
Yeah. He is. He
I've heard.
plays Wade Wilson.
Yeah, because I've heard that one's bad. That's one of the only X-Men movies I've never seen, but I've
The-
heard it's bad.
Yeah,
Yo!
it's like okay. What?
Hang on. So I'm finally actually reading this article Lil sent me, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to be engaged in the conversation too. Francis Lawrence is returning to direct the new Constantine.
Oh shit. All right. Interesting.
Akiva Goldsman will write the screenplay and produce the project through his Weed Road Pictures, alongside Bad Robot's J.J. Abrams and Hannah Mingala. I think is how her name is
JJ.
pronounced.
I'm here for JJ.
He really likes his lens flares.
Yes, but they're always just the right amount of lens flares. Like it's never like one too many. It's always just the right amount.
Right.
Never overkill.
Would you argue that his Star Trek reboots were better Star Wars movies than the sequel trilogy?
Yes, because I love the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I never liked Star Trek. I am into the J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah.
I think if you made movies, if like they continued to make more of those,
Yeah.
I would 100% be in to see them. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed those
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
And Chris
And
Pine
I
is
love
fucking
how
phenomenal.
they kept all the characters true to the original characters,
Yeah.
but made them less tone deaf.
Yeah,
Kirk-
no, that's very
Kirk
true.
isn't as much of a womanizer. Uhura
Yeah.
isn't the token black person on the ship anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. I think my favorite.
And Simon Pegg as Scotty is just fucking brilliant.
Perfect.
Okay. Simon, I know it's probably never gonna happen, but that man should deserves a goddamn Oscar for his portrayal of Montgomery Scott. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I will fight anyone on that. I will die on that
But
hill.
I
Like-
love Simon Pegg.
Yeah. No.
Simon Pegg to me, especially the Cornetto trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And Run Fat Boy Run was also really good. But Simon Pegg to me is like that, and Lil, please tell me if I'm wrong, but is that like the British version of like our American Pie shit, just the crazy shit him and Nick Frost did?
Are those the guys that did Shaun of the Dead?
Shaun of the
Yeah,
Dead,
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, and
Only seen
At
Shaun of
World's
the
End.
Dead.
Yeah, something like that.
I can never remember the title of that one.
The World's End.
The World's End. Okay.
At World's End is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Simon
Okay.
Pegg was also in one of the newer fucking Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, he played he played the man in the chair, basically.
Yeah.
He's
And
also
okay.
he's
what?
He was also Ular Plunkett, the junk dealer in The Force Awakens.
He was also in Ready Player One.
He was, and I'm just gonna say this once. Also, my top contender, instead of Martin Freeman, to play the agent.
Honestly, I would have been
MCU.
cool with either one.
But Martin
Yeah.
Freeman and Simon Pegg, like, oh no, the Cornetto trilogy was way better than the Pie movies.
I agree.
The Pie, I'm not a fan of American Pie, and like that frat boy style of comedy is really hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
Like I loved Van Wilder. I liked Van Wilder Rise of Taj, which if you haven't seen it, watch it.
That was super good.
It's
I'm gonna when the English guy looks at Taj and goes, "I'm gonna do what my ancestors did to yours," and Taj just goes, exploit me economically." It was like,
Ah!
that's funny.
Dude.
I see what we did there.
You know who I don't think gets enough love in the Star Trek movies though? Zachary Quinto, who plays Spock. He
Oh,
was
no,
in a
he-
so he was in a show uh that made him popular when the Star Trek movie the first one came out. It was a show called Heroes where he played one of the villains named Silas.
Oh, okay.
And that was a that's also, if you can find that show, I think it's probably on like Peacock. And you haven't seen Heroes, it's a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
It came out like it ran from 06 to 2010, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that gained him the opportunity to get the role, and I think throughout all three movies he was fucking fantastic as
no,
Spock.
he did.
Oh yeah,
he did.
no, that whole cast, like I think that whole cast
Oh
for
yeah,
those JJ
one of my
agents, like
and I'm
it
gonna
was
catch hell for this. One of my favorite actors, Carl Urban, was cast as
Oh, yeah.
Bones.
Yep, and Carl Urban
Fantastic.
was great.
yeah.
I love Carl Urban.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, that whole, they got a knockout ensemble cast.
They
you
really
know,
did.
like
John
that, and-
Cho, Zoe Saldana,
yeah,
fucking
like-
Chris Hemsworth is in the beginning of the movie.
yeah, and Anton Yelchin, rest in peace.
I know.
Well,
Like,
and then Benedict
like-
Cumberbatch as Khan was fucking inspired.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
mean, like,
oh god.
yeah,
Do they just
no,
have every Marvel actor over there?
Well, this movie came out in 09, so this was before some of these people were even
Oh.
in the fucking MCU.
yeah,
Because 09, Chris Hemsworth would have been considered nobody.
Yeah, and Zoe Saldana wasn't in anything
He was in
predominant.
Avatar.
Well, yeah, in 09.
Oh, it was 09.
So it was when
I thought
that
it was
came out.
08.
No, she was in the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh,
I mean,
she
had been in some stuff,
played
but she wasn't, like, mega
Calypso,
famous.
didn't she?
No, she played Anna Maria, who slaps. Or no, she was in the first one. I'm sorry, she was in the first one.
Okay.
When they put a new crew together after they stole the ship,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you stole my ship. You're gonna get a better ship. Yes, a bigger one. That one. That one. That one. But yeah, so I mean, she had been in stuff before that, but she was in that movie, and the first Star Trek came out the same year as Avatar. So obviously that's when her career gained mega steam.
Avatar.
And what was Chris Hemsworth in before this? I'm trying to think.
He shot Cabin in the Woods the same year, but they didn't release it till 2012.
Well, that was technically his first movie role.
Yeah, they just
'Cause
didn't release
yeah.
it until he became Thor.
Yeah, because he had done a bunch of TV.
Right.
But
Well, and
yeah,
a lot of it was Aussie TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was great in fucking the Red Dawn remake, and if you guys haven't seen that, that was a really good movie. Rush, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh.
Say Rush. We've talked about Rush, Marcus.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't realize he was in.
He plays James Hunt.
Nice. Nice.
If you haven't seen that, you guys are into like racing. It's a Formula One film.
I gotta see that. You know what I need to send you?
What?
Is since we're gonna do a quick racing detour here, there is an old clip of famed Formula One commentator Murray Walker driving the late 80s, early 90s MP4 McLaren, and James Hunt narrates kind of the run through on the replay.
That's awesome.
I will send it to you.
Yeah, you'll have to.
You will find that in very Yeah, I went on a Murray Walker binge
I mean,
like
Murray
last
Walker's
year.
the GOAT.
Like what an amazing and what a humble guy too.
Yeah.
Talking about like, you know,
Cr-
yeah.
Chris Hemsworth also did a documentary series called Limitless, and it was on Disney Plus. It's really good. Go check that out if you guys haven't seen it. It's a super like cool watch.
He's also in the Ghostbusters remake.
He is. So the Ghostbusters remake was a thing. It was okay. I see what they tried to do, and it was a good movie, but like I don't know, the original is still always going to be the best. Like you can't. That cast was.
I liked Ghostbusters Afterlife.
So I haven't seen it yet. I do need to watch that.
The ska band I play in before I before I was officially like in, they covered the Ghostbusters theme, and they also one gig years ago dressed up like the Ghostbusters for Halloween with like the proton packs and everything. So
That's dope.
yeah, it was they went ham. Like those costumes were like pretty fantastic. That's such a good song too.
Yes.
Like that opening theme song just but yeah, like that
it just hits right.
Yeah. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah, like it's such a fun bass line too.
That's right. I didn't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally forgot. Tyler Perry was in the fucking Star Trek movies.
Oh yeah.
Tyler Perry was in the Star Trek movies.
He
I
was
forgot about that.
Medea was in a Star Trek movie.
in your neighborhood.
I'm just still going through all the people.
Who you
Eric
gonna
Bana.
call?
Yeah.
Do we want to make the switch over to our musician of the week?
Yes.
All right. So, well, all right. So I want to preface this by we had one person, and then we switched to another person. I forgot that we had switched, so I ended up writing up the one person. Next week we'll go over the other person. But all will be revealed in time. This week we talk about one of the most iconic bands of the 90s, Nine Inch Nails. The band was formed in 1988 by producer Trent Reznor, and soon found they very, very soon after found success. So much success, in fact, that they to this day have sold over 20 million albums worldwide, nominated for 13 Grammys, winning 2 of them, as well as being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020. I mean, hell, even Johnny Cash covered their song. With their most recent yeah, with their most recent tour happening last year, we look forward to seeing what's next from Nine Inch Nails. So I want to start off questions. Dave, we will start with you, considering you and I have had conversations about this band. What made them so vastly different than everything else in the 90s?
Trent Reznor pioneered industrial metal, period. It was something new. And it resonated. And I love that we call Nine Inch Nails they. Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor with a group of people that tours with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. Like,
so it's the same with the Gorillas. It's just one dude, but
Well, isn't there
They're
two?
like Panic at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco now, yeah.
Well, Panic at the Disco broke up.
Yeah, they were a full band at one point, and then only Brendan Urie.
Brendan Urie said, "I'm done with this. I quit."
Basically. But no, yes, I agree with you, Dave, on that. And
it's fucking when you come out with something that's that different but resonates so much with stuff people already like you're going to be Trent Reznor is the godfather of industrial metal. I like to say that Maynard Keenan is the engineer of it.
Yeah, that I definitely can. I'd say tracks.
Right? Because Trent went, I like these fucking sounds, man. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Secret Time with Dave. The first time I had sex, Closer was playing on the radio.
That's
There we go.
amazing.
like 9 Inch Nails will always have a special place in my heart.
Yep.
But yeah, no, he went, this is awesome. And then Maynard went, cool. How do we use math to make it better and different? Because that's what Tool is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, they
industrial
get-
metal with math, which makes it
Yeah.
better and different.
yes.
Lateralis is literally the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fucking crazy.
I really like the lyrics on that song in
Oh, yeah.
particular. Like, I keep I went down a Lateralis hole, and I got it after years of not listening to Tool, and I was like, okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
You know, and one thing that drew me into was the guitar tone on that song, on
Mhm.
that record is
Yeah.
just it's so I mean I don't know what he's got at but he got a guitar tone that sounds unbelievably heavy, but
Yeah.
without sounding like Job for a Cowboy, or
That's a
like
name I haven't heard in a long time.
you know, or like any of the bands that go like
So
Like-
I heard a
like-
story about how he got his guitar to sound like that.
yeah.
So when he
Yep.
was younger, he had a guitar that he bought that didn't have
Yep.
pickups. So he bought
Yep.
pickups for it, but they were the wrong kind of pickups.
Oh no.
They didn't fit physically in the
No,
In
they
the-
were they weren't designed for a guitar.
Were they bass
Oh.
pickups or something?
I don't know if they might have been bass pickups. I don't know. Like, I don't know all the details. This is something I
Yeah.
heard from someone else who heard it from someone else. Yada yada yada.
yeah, this
right?
Fair.
this could be hearsay.
This
Fair.
100% is hearsay, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
But well, because
Yeah.
like when you're pressed and you're like, I mean, this is what I have. If it ends up sounding good,
Yep.
right? Look at the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who does all the fucked up shit to his piano on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's an actual story. So you know Brian May, the guitarist of Queen, right?
Yeah.
So the guitar he plays to this day, he built with his father when he was like 16.
That's dope.
And not only that, they like engineered the electronics to like do things that weren't like, they were trying to like innovate in like guitar electronics with this guitar.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, when they tour now, he still plays that exact guitar.
No shit.
He has replicas, but he doesn't like to be on them. He prefers to play the genuine article, like to this day, like that, and dude's also like an insanely smart guy. He's got like a degree in astrophysics or something.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, they like created the body from like a cabinet, and it's where some guitarists of his caliber would have put their iconic guitars in a museum, he's out there still using it and preferring to use the one, like, not the thing that gets me is that he's still preferring to use the original and not the replica, if
Right.
like, yeah, which is damn impressive.
Well, but the thing
not-
is, like,
Not being a big Queen fan myself, but insane respect to Brian May.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Having built a couple guitars as well, like I know what that process is like.
Well,
Well,
like I'm not a massive Johnny Cash fan, right?
Yeah.
But I have so much respect for that man,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like you can respect someone's talent without necessarily liking what they do with it, but like you
yeah.
can still recognize it. And I
Yeah.
think that's important, right?
Yeah.
Because like honestly, the Beatles, I don't care for the Beatles mostly because I think they got fucked over by becoming as famous as they did in the way that they did.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that kind of ruined them. Through no fault of their own, honestly.
I guess so. My next question, I guess, is I
But they
wish we
were
could tie this
fucking
in.
talented.
Yeah. Well, I guess we could
Like-
tie this in with Marcus to, I guess, kind of go circling back to Nine Inch Nails.
All right.
You try to keep the train rolling as per my role here every.
Train kept it rolling all night
Well,
long to the train kept.
I
Chris
guess-
is the yin, I am the yang. Chris is order, I
Yes.
am chaos.
That is absolutely the
Yeah.
truth. But I guess more tying in because anytime we've had music discussions, Marcus, you're more the theory. The 90s was such a wild time for experimental type music.
Yeah. Yep.
What about the blend of obviously early techno and pop and all the experimental stuff? What part of that worked so well for Nine Inch Nails that didn't work for a lot of other people?
That's a good question, and I don't know if I have an answer. I think if you go back and you look at, what what is there really to say about music said, right? Like, but I think, that the Mr. Reznor found a catchy hook and found a catchy melody and a catchy lyric and and probably that sound was kind of, it was probably more dance and going to the more club environment that would take off in later decades, side of things, especially with like the rise of like EDM and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And probably that just like where on the radio at the time it was dominated by guitar bands. Here comes a synthesizer hook, but it sounds like a rock band, and it probably kind of like a lot of those things kind of and there's also like right place, right time, right people,
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, like I don't have a definitive answer, but I think like someone makes a catchy song regardless,
Yeah.
if they're
Do you
they're
think
like,
maybe they were just a product of what the times like? Do you think their success was a product of timing?
yes and no, because like I think they could have kind of come up in the new metal phase,
Yeah.
like I could have seen them breaking around the same time as
Korn and Slipknot,
yeah,
and Linkin Park, yeah,
like
the big, I guess, three.
yeah, but they didn't. They were way before.
Yeah.
And in some ways, probably it's the other way around. Like I don't know much about like Korn and Slipknot's influences, but I'd have to take a stab at least one of those guys had heard some Nine Inch Nails somewhere, whether they liked it or not is, and decided to incorporate it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I have to, because the aesthetics of the music are too close together,
Right.
or at least in my opinion, for them to have not kind of overlapped at some point.
No, that's super fair, and it makes sense. Bree, have you heard of Nine Inch Nails?
Let me make sure y'all can hear me clearly. I don't know who these people are, and every time y'all say Nine Inch Nails, my brain thinks Ice Nine Kills, and that's not who they are. So I don't know.
I do like Ice Nine Kills, though.
Okay, I'm gonna help you out, Bree, because I guarantee there is one song by Nine Inch Nails you've heard. At least this line, because it shows up on TikTok.
It's also
Probably.
in the first Blade movie.
I wanna fuck you like an animal.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay,
that's Nine Inch
I
Nails.
wanna feel you
Okay.
from the inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
yes,
Nine Inch
I've heard that
Nails.
on
that's Nine Inch
TikTok.
Nails. That's like
Because
their most
everyone's
famous
heard
song.
that song.
Yeah,
Because that song gets
It's-
used all the fuck over. Because
Yeah.
it's amazing.
it was also in the first Blade movie in one of the.
I haven't seen the Blade movie in like 10 years.
So I guess final question, real quick, before we move on to new music releases, Dave, how fucking cool is it that we live in a world where Nine Inch Nails covered a Johnny Cash song, Johnny Cash covered a Nine Inch Nails song, and why is that like such a significant success for them, for obviously the band?
It is as cool as when Les Claypool auditioned for Metallica and James Hetfield insists that he is just too good and should do his own thing, but Claypool insists that
Did his
Hetfield
own
was just
thing.
being. They're arguing. They're both entirely too fucking nice.
Yup.
Yo, have you seen Les?
That's how cool it is.
There's a the story kind of like, did you hear the story like behind that?
I've heard some of it, yeah.
No.
So like, okay, all right.
Because he went to school with Metallica's guitarist,
Kirk Hammett, yeah.
Yeah. And
so and he walks in there and he was like, yeah, like I didn't think anything of it. I was just go jam some homies.
Yeah.
Then it was like I had known they got real big when like there was this guy, it was like, okay, well, we're gonna take you in to meet the band. Don't be nervous or whatever.
He's like, why the fuck would I be nervous? I went to school with one of these guys. They're just bros, man.
Yeah, and he just shows,
and then
apparently he shows up and is like, hey guys, you want to jam on some
Isley Brothers?
Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
And
for those that don't know who Les Claypool is, he's the lead singer and bassist of the band Primus.
And then
an absolute fucking mad lad.
Oh yeah.
And then the fucking Lars, the fucking notch that he's like, you don't understand what this music is about. And then Claypool left.
I'd say it worked out though. I would say it worked out in his favor.
What a baller move! Showing up to Metallica and be like, "Yo guys, you want to jam on some Isley Brothers?"
Isley Brothers,
dude. That'd be like showing up to Slipknot and being like, "Hey, so I heard this BB King song."
No, no.
Though
what about,
to be fair, they'd probably be down for that.
Oh, fucking half that band's into it.
I feel like a better example is like, hey guys, you want to rock some Joanna Newsom?
Yeah, that's probably better.
Yeah. Well, because I was gonna say you could also say like Phil Collins or Billy Joel, but all those motherfuckers love those guys.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Also, think about who the drummer for Slipknot is. Jay Weinberg. His father is Max Weinberg,
right?
Who very famously did stuff with Bruce Springsteen.
He is the drummer.
He is the drummer for the E Street Band.
Yeah, you don't get much more job security than that,
dude. Right? We do have a few music releases.
I mean, what? There is more job security than that. You could be a politician.
Fair.
All you have to do is serve one term and you get paid the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Talk about getting fucking scammed. Shit.
Yeah, what the hell are we doing, boys?
We're doing this. We're a bunch of friends talking nonsense.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And
That's
people
good.
are watching us, so obviously
that's
we're doing
yeah.
something right.
There we go. That's it. You heard it here first, folks.
Yes. We do have a few new music releases. Friday, Logic released his new album called College Park. It's kind of a throwback to like early 2010s of hip hop. Really fucking good album. Marcus, this one's for you. Speaking of Godsmack, they released their new album last week called Lighting Up the Sky.
Nice.
It's really fucking good.
Yes. Nice.
The Struts released an EP called Unplugged at East West. It is a strictly all acoustic EP. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will check it out. Steel Panther released a new album called On the Prowl.
Which the
yes.
whole album is, hey, are we gonna fuck or what? Like that
Yeah.
should have been the title of the album.
I mean, the thing is, that's like Steel Panther's vibe.
That's 100% their vibe.
I mean, yeah.
That's-
Let me
it's
read
like-
off some of the
that's
names
not
of these
just their
fucking
album,
songs.
That's
No,
that's their astrology chart.
Dude, some of their songs on this new album called On Your Instagram, Is My Dick Enough, Magical Vagina, One Pump Chump, Porn Star, Friends with Benefits.
The 80s never died, my
Nope,
Went
it
to
lives
Steel
on
Panther.
as Steel Panther. And
Yeah.
honestly, they are a good band. They do make pretty good music.
They're a parody band, but
They're a parody band that puts out good shit. That's the funny part.
They're satirical.
If
They're
Twisted
satirical.
Sister stayed how they were, that's literally what Steel Panther is.
Yeah.
Speaking of music that is also pretty good, Wiz Khalifa dropped a new album last Friday called Star Power. I have not listened to that, but this is my fucking boy. I love Wiz Khalifa, so I'm sure that will be for me soon.
You know
and
what?
the only other relevant artist I could find is a country artist I'm familiar with. Obviously I don't listen to country, but Dierks Bentley released his new album called Gravel.
Drunk on a Plane guy.
Yes.
Drunk on a Plane guy. That's the
see.
name.
I know him as the
He did that song. What was it? What
was I thinking?
What was I
guy,
thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky was a beauty from South
Yeah.
Alabama. Her daddy had
Yeah.
a heart like a 9-pound hammer. Think
Yeah,
even
Dierks-
did a
Dierks
little
Bentley
time
does
in the
make some good
slammer.
music.
What was I
Yeah.
thinking?
Like he is a solid country artist.
Yeah.
For
yeah,
okay,
alright.
so I'm not a huge fan of country music, but I like some of it. What was I thinking
Yeah.
is one of those songs. It was just like for me. And when that song came out, my girlfriend at the time really liked Dierks Bentley too. So
Yeah.
it just kind of was like a vibe, I guess. Like that song passed the vibe check.
Bree,
There
did
you
you
go.
know any of the people I named off?
Logic and Wiz Khalifa.
Okay,
And
There we
I was gonna
Bentley.
say
You knew Dierks Bentley. You were singing that song with me.
Oh yeah, and Dierks Bentley.
I'm gonna say I know you would know who Logic and Wiz Khalifa are.
Yeah.
Obviously,
And
those who know me know
you-
Logic's my favorite rapper. Is a throwback to fucking real hip hop, and the
Missed
90s.
the
and
new
early 2000s.
music release.
Oh, who the fuck
Did I?
does-
Who else released new music?
Halsey, you forgot.
that's right.
Halsey.
That's right. Halsey did release new music.
Ah.
Let me give you the correct, because I don't remember what it's called.
Die for you.
There you go.
No, Die for me. Die for me.
Oh,
Die
Die-
for you's the Weeknd and Ariana Grande remix.
The Weeknd.
I do love The Weeknd, who's been a featured artist on our Musician of the Week. We here love The Weeknd.
See, Logic's all right, but like you know what song in that like hip hop rap genre really resonates with me?
What?
The Best Day by Atmosphere.
That is a good song.
Dude.
I think so. I think a rapper that you might like. I don't know. Do you listen to NF?
What?
Do you listen to NF?
I don't know what that
MF do
is.
All
Nelly
right,
MF do.
Furtado.
you would
I've
no, you
I've
would
heard of
like
NF.
NF. Yeah, you would like NF. He's a really good rapper.
Well, and like so
Raps about real things.
Mm,
well, and that's kind of like why I like Best Day, because he's like,
yeah.
hey, shit happens. Try to stay positive. Like,
Well, yeah. So
I'm
that's
down for hearing that every once in a while.
like there
You
are
know?
Did you release a
still
new song?
who NF.
NF. I
Not
think he just released a new song.
not that I know. I don't believe so. I could be.
Is it
But
just
I
the
will-
letter N and the letter F?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
his initials.
Nelly
he is
Furtado.
no. Although Nelly Furtado was awesome. He does
Dude,
have
I'm
one
gonna
coming
be
out
real
next.
with you. I don't know if Nelly Furtado's a man or a woman. Like, that's how little I know. I just have heard the name.
She is a woman.
She is a woman. Okay.
She's a woman.
She's in that song "Promiscuous."
Promiscuous girl with Timberland. Yeah.
Promiscuous boy.
Yep.
Teasing
Yeah, her.
me. I know what you want, and I got what you need.
It's a banger.
It is a banger.
That is a banger. All right.
So Marcus, I think you said you had to take off after this segment.
Yes, yes, indeed. I am going to sign off, but it was a pleasure joining you guys again, talking.
Of course, of course. Will we see
doing-
you next week by chance?
Yes, I hope.
'Cause
Well,
we-
I hope to. I hope to be
Alright.
here.
Because we obviously Drew is feeling under the weather. Haircut, but he's not feeling well today, so we're gonna do that next week.
Got it. All right, everyone. So I'm gonna peace out.
All right, buddy. Good to see
y'all
you.
later. Yeah, good to see you guys. Take care.
Bye, bud. What else? What is left for us? Dave. Video game
News.
releases.
Atomic Heart fucking slaps.
Yes, it does. You and I have both streamed that game.
Oh my god.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's like BioShock and Fallout fucked and had a baby, and then like We Happy Few was a bad influence on that baby as it grew up.
And that baby grew up in Soviet occupied world.
No, just Russia.
Just Russia.
Just Russia. Like the Soviet Union didn't collapse after the end of World War II.
It ended up taking over everything.
No. They're still in America. They mention
yeah.
America. They mention Canada. They mention China. Like, I just don't think it fell apart like it did IRA.
I think, yeah. So the game is fucking fun.
And it's incredibly anti-socialist.
Yes.
Like, it goes from being like, wow, this is like weird propaganda to like, oh no, they're okay. And then they swing even farther the other direction, and you're like, what the fuck is the message of this game? What are they trying to communicate?
Yeah.
Because it just sounds like a cry for help.
It's fair. And Bree, you've been in stream for both of us. What's your opinion on that game?
I've honestly half paid attention, but from what I have paid attention to, it looks really good. Like the graphics and like visually everything looks really good.
Oh yeah, the game is beautiful.
Now I will say, the controls are kind of they're imperfect, but so are the controls in BioShock. So are they're more complicated than they need to be. Borderlands 1 suffered from the same issue. And then they started simplifying the controls. By the time we get to Borderlands 3, it's fucking butter.
Right.
I will say the driving is surprisingly a lot better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. It's very arcadey.
What, Brie?
I was gonna say I have game news that only I care about, but it saddens me.
What is your game
what's
news?
up?
So apparently, Telltale Games did not shut down like I originally thought, but they are delaying Wolf Among Us 2 to next year.
Oh,
So Telltale Games went through Chapter 11 bankruptcy and fired basically all of their staff. Telltale Games, as it
Yeah.
is right now, with the exception of ownership, I believe, is entirely different.
yeah,
Basically, they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy so they wouldn't have to pay people, and then they hired a bunch of new people.
bunch of new people. Yeah,
And that's my understanding of that situation. So
But yeah, they released a statement, and I saw it like right before we went live, and it's like we need to make sure the game is perfect, and we are gonna rework some stuff, and we'll release it next year. And I'm like,
Telltale has made some pretty good games, though.
have
I'm
they?
in love with The
I've
Walking
played a
Dead.
few of them, and they're not.
Were they
But I
not
don't like.
responsible
I
for
don't
the
like visual
Minecraft one?
novels.
I have a Minecraft one, the
Yeah, I was gonna
Minecraft
say, were
story mode.
they were? I would say I'm pretty sure they were responsible for that, and that was a great game.
They also
Which
did
game?
the Batman
The
Telltale,
Batman,
and they
the
did The
Minecraft one did.
Walking.
Oh, I didn't know they made a Minecraft one. I didn't
Yeah,
play the Walking Dead one. I played a little bit of The Wolf Among Us. I played a little bit of the Back to the Future one. I played a little bit of the Batman one. And like none of them were, but I don't like visual novels. I either want to play a
Yes.
game or I want to watch a movie. And that falls in a weird spot that's in between, but not close enough to either of them for it to like resonate with me.
there we go.
And those are my kind of games. I like those kind of decision-based
Yeah.
games. This is why I also like Until Dawn and The Quarry.
Well, those
See,
are both great games.
Until Dawn and The Quarry, I am 100% for. As much as I give Until Dawn hell, thinking it's the other one that show just came out for.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I get The Last of Us and Until Dawn mixed up all the time. But I am like 100%, like I would play either of those games. They seem fantastic, but they have much bigger branching storylines typically than the Telltale games do. As well as
Yes,
like
Lil.
you
Tales from
you
the
are in
Borderlands.
more and better like physical control of your character, and there are actions, like physical actions you can take. It's not all 100% story driven. Like it edges just closer enough to game to be different enough that I'm totally on board for those.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about the Borderlands ones, and I hear the stories are all great. It's one of those things where like if somebody, like I would rather watch somebody play it, like who
Yeah.
already had played it once and knew what to do to get the story rather than go through it myself.
Right.
I've never seen anything Game of Thrones,
Same.
The
which
main
is weird
critique
because
is
I like
that-
fantasy stuff, but it lives in this weird like
It's entirely too popular for me to get behind.
see, that's not even a problem for me. It's just
Same reason I didn't like Walking Dead or Breaking Bad.
I liked like the 6 episodes of Walking Dead I watched.
Yeah, no, I didn't like Walking Dead.
I've heard it gets bad after like season 2.
What, Walking Dead? I have to.
Yeah.
My dad's watched the whole thing, so I mean, he's the perfect person I should ask.
But I knew Game of Thrones would be an intellectual investment that at the time it came out I did not have time for.
Right. Which is fair.
And then I just never bothered to go back and watch it. Now its relevancy is so little that I have no need to or desire to go back and watch it.
Right.
Well, didn't they just come out with a prequel for it?
Yeah, the House of
Prequel
Dragon
series?
House of the Dragon or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to kill off at least one character a week to make that money.
That came out at the same exact time as Rings of Power.
And
Is it
that's
terrible?
the
Yeah, I
Lord
heard
of
it
the
wasn't.
Rings.
No, that's a good show. Like they did a great job on that show. What else, Dave, came out video game wise? Or was like that really the only relevant one?
Let me double check my list.
I mean, if you have to go to the dining
There's a
corner
couple-
first, it's
Pay no
okay.
attention to the man behind the curtain. He's doing terrible, terrible things. I liked
terrible
Rings of Power, Lil, but I would like to discuss our differing opinions with you because what makes things good and bad to people with properties like that is fascinating to me.
Right.
Today's the 1st, right?
Today is the 1st, yes.
Oh, fuck, my camera's off. So the PSVR 2 launched, and I'm gonna tell you all what I told everyone when the PSVR launched. Just invest in a real VR headset, whether it's a standalone or attaches to your computer. For the love of God. Because, like, Sony half-assing it and kind of phoning it in is whatever. But a bunch of shit came out for that. Who cares?
Didn't you say there was 2 games that released this month that you were really excited for? But I can't remember the name of them.
So another Kirby game launched. That's fair. The series gets progressively better, but with Rings of Power, they changed some of the backstory, knowing that A, a lot of people haven't read the Silmarillion, B, the Silmarillion contradicting itself in several points. So Rings of Power, it's dry. The first episode is dry.
Yes.
But it gets progressively better, and the story picks up as it goes. But they have to establish characterizations and stuff because they deviate from the books, but in ways that are good for storytelling and not necessarily meaningful.
Right.
To the overall, like, history, if that makes sense. So it keeps you in question of what is going on. So for people who are familiar with all of the backstory, it's like a mystery. Like, okay, so who is this person really? Like, what relevance do they have, etc., etc. And it's just, I enjoyed it. I would suggest watch the second episode, and if you're still not into it, then give up. But I would give it 2 episodes because they have to do some very dry setup.
Right.
Let's see. Octopath Traveler 2 launched, which I know the first one was a big deal for a lot of people. Destiny 2 Lightfall released.
I know people that are streaming that right now too, like of Destiny that do stream Destiny.
And I think that was it. Now, as far as games coming out in March, there's some weird stuff coming out this month. There's a game called Dead Cells Return to Castlevania releasing on the 6th. Those are Scar Above and Wolong. I see, and I haven't seen anything on Scar Above or Wolong. So I'll have to check those out. That's fair. Well, you and I seem to be interested in very similar games, Lil. We like stuff that tells a good story and doesn't have fidgety fucking mechanics. Like,
yeah. Also this month, The Last of Us finally hits PC. It'll be an Epic's game exclusive, but it'll be hitting PC.
Oh, Resident Evil 4 Remake comes out this month.
Yes.
And Kerbal Space Program 2 just released. I forgot about that entirely.
That's the one I was talking about when I was like, you were excited about a game, but I can't remember what it was called.
Dude,
Kerbal Space Program, yeah.
If I had the money, I'd be playing that right fucking now, like while we're doing this. But yeah, Atomic Heart's been good.
What up, Wookie?
See, I know nothing about Nio. This is why I'm glad we met, because I get to learn things about things that I would be interested in, but otherwise wouldn't give the time of day.
That's fair.
And then coming out, and I'm just going to keep talking about it. Coming out in May, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is scheduled for May fucking 12th.
May 12th, all right.
And my dick has never been harder.
Stop,
hang
my
on.
penis can only get so erect.
Hang on. I have to look because I actually think if they do what they do a lot. Okay, that's on a Friday. Sometimes Nintendo releases new games on Wednesdays. And if it had been a Wednesday, we would not be having a show that day because I would be playing
We would
Legend
be
of Zelda
playing-
Tears
yeah,
of the
playing
Kingdom.
Fucking Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah, see,
I'm
Souls
glad
likes...
that they didn't just call it Breath of the Wild 2, though. Like, I'm glad they changed the name.
Oh, yeah, they were never going to call it Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Nintendo Wii was called during its development phase?
What?
Project Dolphin.
That's actually kind of dope.
Everything gets stupid names in development, basically. But yeah, and then next month a game called Minecraft Legends comes out.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the fuck that is. Also Dead Island 2 will release next month, which the original Dead Island was great. Dead Island Riptide was pretty good. But those were years ago. Star Wars Jedi Survivor comes out next month, which, if it's anything like Fallen Order, it'll be good. If it's anything like most of the shit that came between Fallen Order and Knights of the Old Republic, it will not be good.
Dude, Fallen Order was so fucking
Fallen Order was
so
incredible.
good.
And there are other ones that we're going to talk about as we progress. And
Yeah, but we are kind of in that lull point where, like, the first 3 months of the year, not a shit ton of, like, big games come out. So,
right.
Obviously as we get more towards the spring and the summer and the fall, we'll get bigger or more frequent big releases.
Well, so, and some people say for games like Tears of the Kingdom, right? Which is big title from a big franchise from a big developer.
Yeah.
A lot of wisdom says, hey, we should release this end of the third quarter just in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think they'll get just as many sales during the Christmas season.
Oh yeah.
With launching now.
Yeah, because people are going to want to play it regardless. And it's
Right.
not like, oh, we have to wait just to get more people. They're like, no, those people that were otherwise going to wait anyway will still wait. And those that are willing to buy the game will buy it at any point,
And, because primarily Christmas gifts are like, if I were to buy you a gift and a game just came out and I knew you liked it, I would buy it for you. And it would be like, hey, don't buy this. I'm going to buy it for you for Christmas or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, those are people who would be playing or buying that game anyway.
Right.
The big bump in sales releasing around Christmas comes from parents going, oh, I've heard this name before, and this one's new. They'll probably like it.
Right.
Which is gonna fucking happen anyway.
Isn't it usually the sports games that like release at the end of the year so they can get them for Christmas, like the NBA 2K, the stuff like that?
Those release around the same time as the current season is going to start. And it just so happens games like NHL, 2K, FIFA. Well, FIFA is kind of a tough one because there are different soccer leagues that play at different times of the year. But like Madden, like those games, when they come out specifically because that's when the season is close to starting.
But a lot of those seasons starting
in the fall
ends up in the fall.
Yeah, in the fall.
Which is, when a lot of other companies do their big releases anyway, so it just kind of all works
when
out.
EA Sports made the NASCAR games, so they would always come out right before the Daytona 500, like a week or two before, and those always came out in February.
Right.
I believe EA Sports is doing that currently with the F1 games, and that the season I think starts in March. or March or April, and the new game is slated to come out around that time.
I was gonna say it's end of March, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it's end of March.
What's the name of it?
It should just be F1 2023 or F1
I'm
23.
I'm not seeing it, but well, like another good example, MLB The Show 23 comes out March 28th.
Yeah, so
Baseball
that comes out
season
around.
starts at the
That
end
comes
of April.
around. Yeah, well, right now they're in spring training.
Right. Right. And well, the season starts proper what, end of April, first part of May though?
No, April.
Is it April?
Yep. Some teams will have their first game in March. But yeah, we're in spring training right now, so the new MLB game is probably soon.
March 28th.
March 28th, right?
Yeah.
Who's I don't even know who's on the
Give me a second, I can tell you.
who
It
is on the
is
cover?
a dude who looks
Oh,
like
it's
Samuel L.
Jazz.
Jackson's character from The
Oh,
Kingsman.
it's Jazz Chisholm Jr. He plays for the Marlins.
He looks like Samuel L. Jackson's character from The Kingsman.
He does.
Like specifically on the cover here with like how he's posed and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's fair. He looks like a young Samuel L. Jackson anyway.
What does a young Samuel L. Jackson look like? I only know him as old.
I mean, I'd say watch
Wasn't-
Pulp Fiction, but he wasn't exactly young there either.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
I mean, he was
Pulp
young-ish.
Fiction.
You need to watch Pulp Fiction.
I
That's a
don't
movie you
watch it out of
must.
spite. I don't watch it out of spite.
That's my favorite movie of all
And
fucking
that's the
time.
reason that I don't watch it, because all the dude bros are like, "Oh my god, you ever see Pulp Fiction?" No,
Well-
because I don't really enjoy Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh, and see, I love Tarantino, but all the dude bros probably like Tarantino movies for other reasons. I like it because he's a fucking cinema genius, but
I've seen
see-
Django Unchained, and that's about it.
so good.
I will continue to say that Reservoir Dogs is Tarantino's best film.
I don't think many people would disagree.
And that's a heist movie, Brie.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, Bean. I'm jealous.
Yo! That sounds awesome.
I know. Oh, that's right. Alan
Yo,
Wake 2.
yes, I'm excited for Alan Wake 2. I am so excited for Alan Wake 2. I didn't play Alan Wake's American Nightmare. I was told it was more of an arcade shooter than, you know, an Alan Wake game, so I kind of
Yeah.
avoided it. Like I have it. I've just never I don't know that I've ever even installed it.
Right. Bean, this is why we're friends, by the way. Because I too love Tarantino.
Wait, did he do Taxi? No, Taxi Driver.
No.
No,
That is a
Why
good
did-
movie, though.
That's Scorsese. That's Scorsese.
Yeah, that's
not
Scorsese.
Tarantino. That's the only.
Who
That's
I
the only
also-
Scorsese movie I've seen.
I also love Scorsese.
I had to watch it for a film class, and that's the only reason I've seen Taxi
See,
Driver.
I also, and a movie I think you would actually really enjoy, Brie, is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, yes.
I've heard the name, but I don't know
It's
what it's
a it's a horror comedy vampire movie. I think is the best way to put
You
it.
got me.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yeah, it's like it's got Cheech fucking Marin in it. And
Cheech is
Selma
in it,
Hayek.
So is
So
George
Selma
Clooney.
Hayek.
George Clooney's in it. Like, yeah.
It's one of my favorite Robert Rodriguez films. But he's another one that I fucking love.
But Tarantino made both of the sequels, which are also really good.
Tarantino, he was a writer on both the sequels. He didn't direct them, but he was a writer.
No, writer and producer.
And producer, yeah.
My
my favorite Tarantino
like,
movie is my
so
favorite movie. It's Pulp Fiction.
I lump those in as Tarantino films because if you're the head writer, you know, whether you're
Yeah.
the director or not, if you're the head writer, it's kind of your thing too.
Yeah. Bean, my second favorite Tarantino film is kind of a shocker to people, but it's Death Proof. with Inglorious Bastards and Reservoir Dogs being super close to the top, though. But Pulp Fiction's my overall favorite.
Oh.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was fucking great too.
See, okay. So I've played Control. I haven't played the Wake DLC because I played Control on Game Pass. And I refuse to buy DLC for a game unless I buy the game.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm a
Control
baller
was
on a
great
budget.
game.
I played it on Game Pass for a reason. But it was so fucking good.
The Control game would be cool as like a movie.
Dude, I would love to see that as a movie. Well, in Control, everybody's like, yo, why are you so like instantly into this? And I'm like, because this is just the SCP Foundation with different curtains.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking here for it.
It's that game is so up your alley. That's why I was shocked when that I knew you didn't play it, and I was like, no, dude, you have to fucking play that game.
because you're the one who's like, dude, it's on Game Pass. You can probably get Game Pass. For
yeah, that's right. Because I told you about it because I had played it
for my Game Pass.
Yeah, I did.
To make me play it.
I needed you to play that game because I was telling you about it. You were like, dude, I fucking need to play this. I'm like, no, you need to. Yeah, I paid for Dave's Game Pass so he could play this fucking game. That's how good it was.
It's so good. And to be fair, it was $1. I just didn't have $1 at that moment. And he's like, it's a fucking $1.
It's $1.
Play the game.
Yeah, I love Django Unchained is great too. Inglourious Bastards is another great film. The only Tarantino film that I can say I'm not like massive fan of was Jackie Brown. But yeah, the rest of them, the guy, just a phenomenal. Hateful Eight was great.
See, I haven't seen any of his newer stuff.
Yeah. Bright Falls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. And I found all that, and I'm like, yo, this is the same developer. Is this in the Alan Wake universe? Because this feels like it could be. And then I started finding the stuff about Bright Falls, and I'm like, yo!
Yeah, then it makes sense.
You can also see a copy of like one of Alan Wake's books on a desk somewhere.
Yeah. I need to see if the first Alan Wake is on Game Pass. Because I need to replay it before the new one comes out.
I know that they give it away every 4 or 5 months on Epic.
Do they? No shit.
That's how I got it.
Although I hope that they include like the ability to use a controller because your boy hates using mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah, no, you can.
But
I think I played it with controller actually.
What is the butt? What's the butt?
The butt is the anus of the body.
It's a cut version. Interesting. Kling doesn't say a fucking word the entire show, and he's just also
I love you, Kling.
Hi, Kling.
Also, let's get another shout out for Lil.
Oh, all right.
Oh, fair. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. So was that all for video game releases?
I think so. At least that we're going to be talking about this week, and there's other stuff that's going to roll in that we're going to find about as things headed to bed. What fucking time? It is 9 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock.
Dude, it's 10 o'clock. So that's why I say let's quickly get through
Night
Kling. Quickly get through sports and then wrap this biatch up. What do you say?
Wrap it before you tap it.
Yes. All right. So just a couple. Right now, everything sports is just racing because I'll talk about hockey. Which I talk about hockey in a separate thing. So Supercross. Cooper Webb claimed victory this past weekend. The Monster Energy Supercross 450 race at Arlington, Texas. Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac were on the podium. Nate Thrasher, which is a great name, claimed the 250 East victory. Jordan Smith and Hunter Lawrence to your podium. Cooper Webb is now only 2 points behind championship leader Eli Tomac. We'll see if he can take the points lead this weekend as the series heads to Daytona for their invitational race. It's one of the biggest races of the season. So that coverage begins Saturday at 7 on Peacock. The NASCAR Cup Series made its stop in Southern California for the Pala Casino, where we saw Kyle Busch claim victory in what was the final race at the Auto Club Speedway's current 2-mile oval layout. The rest of your top 10, Chase Elliott finished second. Third was Ross Chastain. Fourth was Chastain's teammate, Daniel Suarez. Kevin Harvick finished fifth in his final race in Southern California, where he retires at the end of the year. Denny Hamlin was sixth. Seventh was Brad Keselowski, which has been his best finish since he switched to RFK Racing. Eighth was Alex Bowman. Ninth was Austin Dillon, and 10th was Joey Logano, rounding out your top 10. Kyle Busch set a record on Sunday. He's now won a race every year for the last 19 straight seasons, which sets the record for most all-time, passing 7-time champion and NASCAR Hall of Famer Petty. As well as he moved into 9th place on the all-times wins list with 61 victories. And this is also Busch's first win since switching to Richard Childress Racing in the off-season. Ross Chastain is your points leader after 2 races, just 1 point ahead of defending champion Joey Logano. NASCAR does continue their West Coast swing by stopping off in Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube, which, again, I love NASCAR race names. They are so obnoxious. They had, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, they had the SpongeBob SquarePants 400. I was like, shout out to Nickelodeon. And the 2023 IndyCar season is about to start this week, when the series heads to the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida. Can Will Power defend the championship, or will Alexander Rossi or can Alexander Rossi find the magic with the new team McLaren? All these questions will be answered Sunday at noon on NBC. And I will tell you, I am super excited for the IndyCar season. Bringing that magic dick. I mean, in his first year in IndyCar, he won the 100th. So he was definitely slinging dick for. But no, I'm loving racing getting back. That's been big for me. I mean, obviously, as much as I love talking about Marvel and being super nerdy, I like sports, so I get that little bit of sports. But that is all I have in the realm of sports.
It's a left turn. Guess what? There's another left turn. Guess what? Another freaking left turn.
Hey, you've made that joke before.
Okay, then I'll make a slightly different joke from a different comedian. Lots of people want to be a race car driver. I want to be a race car passenger.
Race car passenger.
Hey, man. Why do we keep turning left? Can I turn on the radio?
They get real close to that fucking wall, too.
Dude, you must really like Tide.
You must really like Tide. Oh, it is a good one. But no, I'm for IndyCar, my favorite driver is Alex Rossi. So the fact that he switched from Andretti, which is where he's been since he switched from Formula One to IndyCar, he's been there his entire IndyCar career. So making the move over to McLaren is going to be interesting. So we'll see if it re-sparks that fucking fire that he had. Because last year you could tell he was over. So I don't know. It's going to be exciting.
Look,
he was the last American to run in F1, so I think it's pretty cool.
I'm just gonna say, I'm waiting for McLaren and Andretti to combine and become Anclaren.
Anclaren.
And then they're going to develop an artificial intelligence to drive their cars. And then that artificial intelligence is going to turn hostile. And then we're going to have cars that are going to eat our legs so we can't run.
Jesus. Dave. Jesus. Well, so...
Dude, all I'm saying is the movie Cars, That's prophecy.
That's a prophecy.
The prophecy.
Oh my god. There has been a lot of fucking drama with Michael Andretti and Formula One. He has been trying to make a bid to bring Andretti Autosport to F1, like expand his field of racing series. It'll be and he wants, there is already an American team called Haas F1. But they're not like based out of the US. And Michael Andretti wants to completely make the team based in the US. He's even bringing in fucking Cadillac as an engine manufacturer to Formula One. And all the teams are like, no, we don't fucking want you here. There's like there's this big, and it's weird, with shows like Drive to Survive, Formula One, that have made people love the sport, and it's a great show. Netflix has done a great job of the documentary of like dramatizing a sport that, as a racing fan, is honestly sometimes boring. And with now the fact that they have 3 races in the US, they want to expand this big market, but yet they don't want to allow an American team into the sport because the Europeans have this weird American racing prejudice.
Yeah, it's because we're better than them.
Well, so because the US is known for more stock car racing, more quote unquote NASCAR, like traditional oval racing. Well, a lot of not just F1 fans, but like there are a lot of F1 team members and like important figures in the sport that look down on American drivers because they say it takes no skill to do any of that. Now, there are plenty of Formula One drivers that have come over to the US and run like IndyCar and NASCAR and said, no, 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 this shit's way harder than you think. But it's like it's this weird like mentality that is ruining the sport for American fans.
Well, okay, so here's the dealio, right? So they look at ovals, right? And pregnant ovals.
Yeah, D-shaped ovals. Yeah, that's you're definitely not wrong. That
Pregnant
Michigan,
ovals.
Daytona. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Talladega.
Talladega looks like that, but yeah,
Yeah.
most of like the cookie cutter D-shaped ovals. Yeah.
Yeah. And they go, oh, well, all you have to do is know how to turn left. Right? Which is true. But the thing is, you have to understand that with the courses being as simple as they are, a lot more goes into precision, proper timing,
Speed,
understanding your vehicle,
aerodynamics. Yeah.
your pit, having the right pit crew to know what they need to do to your vehicle. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to pull 5 pounds of pressure out of the left front tire because that'll help you corner better.
Yeah.
Because they do shit like that on the fly.
Yeah. Plus, you got to think about the constant high rates of speed. These guys, before they changed the aero package in NASCAR, at Auto Club Speedway, which they were at last week, famous during the Gen 6 era before they changed the horsepower package, they would do 212 miles an hour into like turn 1. And the
Not
amount of
being turned to goo by G-forces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Because G-forces are insanely intense in oval racing because of high speeds. And a lot of drivers don't like that like from road course backgrounds. And there are drivers that have come over from like F1 and stuff like that to like IndyCar, which is the US's version, I guess, of Formula, except for they race on ovals and road courses and stuff.
See, and I've done like
you've done like short track stuff, yeah.
But I've
you've
done short track stuff, and I've done I raced one of the cars I had in an unmodified thing.
Yeah, but like a lot of them can't handle the big
short
speed.
track. We did ovals. We did well. So the thing is, the car I had was essentially a baby race car. Like when it was made, its performance standard was almost that of what you would expect out of something from what at the time was called the Busch series.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I had an '89 Formula Firebird.
And in the 80s and 90s, using Fords in the Busch series.
And the formula was basically just almost that engine that they put in those cars.
Yeah.
That's why they called it the formula. It was one of their racing engines.
Yeah. It was one of GM's NASCAR-ish style engines.
The only difference is it was a 305 instead of a 350.
Yeah.
But they used the 305 in the formula because the 305, with all the bells and whistles that they added, performed better than the 350 did.
Because it's lighter.
Mm-hmm.
The engine became more efficient. But no, it's just something that bothers me, the way that European F1 fans are towards American fans, because like I've been a fan of F1 since 2010. So for me, no, Drive to Survive isn't why I liked the fucking liked F1. Like, I fell in love with Formula 1 because it's just an awesome fucking racing series. Nowadays it's a lot more boring because only like 2 cars can actually compete for a race win. Because
that's why I like shit
no
like
money
motocross.
Dude, yeah, and that's why I talk about Supercross every week since the season started, because, dude, like, Supercross right now is some of the best racing. Because you've got 3 guys that are set, literally Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton are all separated by 5 points.
What's the fucking, I can't remember what the series was. They don't do it anymore, but it was X Games adjacent, where they'd race dirt bikes through just fucking crazy courses, and like people would like shove each other and shit.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember. They did it for a little while and they don't do it anymore. But it was kind of
because nobody would insure them.
Yeah,
they couldn't get insurance for the racers.
It's the same reason freestyle motocross riders have a hard fucking health insurance.
Right.
E type of at Brands Hatch. I'm so beyond fucking jealous that you've been in a car around Brands Hatch.
Oh no! Fuck.
That is one of the most iconic British racetracks ever. It held the British Grand Prix for a good amount of time.
I can't be in a vehicle with someone else driving going that fast.
No.
I have pushed my personal vehicles to 200 plus miles an hour. But hell no with somebody else in control. If I'm going to die, it's going to be my fault, god damn it.
You're not going to have the Paul Walker. The Paul Walker incident.
Right.
Someone else is driving his fucking Carrera. But
that was a Carrera GT.
It was a Carrera GT.
How do you let someone who doesn't drive that car daily drive that car even a little fucked up?
Because the guy that drove it was a professional race car driver.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Still, I'm not letting anyone else drive that fucking car irresponsibly. Like, if that were me, I would absolutely.
Like, I've done barrel rolls on quads. Okay, I've done some crazy shit because I used to race quads. I used to race dirt bikes.
Well, you're from the Midwest, so that all makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's just kind of what we do.
Yeah, there's plenty of places there to do it.
We do that. We tip cows and we fuck sheep. That's just kind of how it is. We're like Scotland, but in the U.S.
And less rain.
It depends on where you're at in the Midwest. To be fair,
that's like Connecticut. I have a buddy of mine from England that moved to Connecticut a few months ago, and I was like, "So, what do you think of it here?" He goes, "If I had known the weather was fucking stayed in England." I was like, "Dude, that's so fair." They call it New England for a reason. Even the weather.
Yeah, it's like the old one, but worse.
Yeah, but worse, and with more drunk people. Believe it or not. Dude, there's
depends
nothing to
on
do
what
here
part of
except
old
for
England
drink.
you're in. I think for that one, to be fair.
Yeah.
But no, I'm fucking out on that. Letting somebody drive at those kind of speeds with me in the car? Fuck no.
I'm
Fuck
so in. But I'm a fucking maniac who's been in several race cars because fuck yeah.
I mean, I technically owned a race car.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It was a car that I raced.
Yeah.
And it won races.
Yeah.
So I would say it qualified as a race car.
Yeah, you bring up a very good point. See that I'm jealous around, and you've been to Silverstone. That makes me even more jealous.
Well, I mean, she
No,
lives in the
yeah.
UK.
I
So, like,
think
access to
you're.
these places is a little
Oh, yeah.
easier for her.
I think you're confusing the word rain with drift lube. I think that's what you
Drift
meant.
lube.
Drift lube.
Drift lube.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to talk about drift lube? I was going over an overpass in my Fiero. My first car was a 91 Fiero 2M4 for
Shout
those
out
of
to
you
the
who give a shit.
Fiero.
And everybody's like, how the fuck did you fit in it? I'm like, honestly, it was roomy as shit because the engine was behind you. Under the hood was all fucking legroom, bruh.
Yeah, it's all because it's all fucking trunk space stuff.
Like, Chris, you couldn't drive it.
Yeah, oh, I've seen
Your
a Fiero.
feet
I have a
would
friend
not
that has
touch
one.
the pedals.
I have a friend that has a Fiero. They're
Unless
fucking
you're
weird.
like 5'10", you're gonna struggle or put blocks on the pedals.
Bria, what kind of car do you drive?
A 1998 Honda Civic.
Yo,
See,
shout out
yeah,
to the
but
Civic.
those were the dope Civics.
Those were the Civics that we could fit in, Bree. Have you tried to fit in one of the more modern Civics?
The 2022, 2023 Civics have a lot of range.
Do they now?
Yes.
Because the last time I tried to get into a Civic, I'm like, what the fuck is this? A fucking Mini Cooper? Which, by the way, I'm too big to ride in a Mini Cooper in any fashion that is even remotely comfortable. I literally cannot fit in the front. I have to lay down across the back, bunched up in the fetal position. That is the only way I fit in a Mini Cooper.
Lil, I feel like you and I have to have discussions about racetracks that we've been to and been on, because every single one that you've named, I am so fucking jealous. Oh, Dave, that's something that we need to watch when it happens again. The Goodwood Festival of Speed. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's like this whole fucking like event. It's like several days long. They have a certain track that they do timed laps with in old race cars, current race cars, old like street cars, motorcycles. Oh, they've done they have a fucking rally car course now. Oh, dude, you would love Goodwood. You would love Goodwood.
But I want to say, as a general rule, when it comes to anything sporting related, I prefer to do rather than watch typically.
Oh, for sure. I'm honestly the same way with a lot of sports, like golf. I enjoy playing golf. It's boring as fuck to watch.
Playing golf.
But
dude, the Isle of Man is the craziest shit in the planet. Like, so for those who aren't familiar with the Isle of Man TT, it's a bike race that they race around the entire Isle of Man, and you on a motorcycle. And it's one of the craziest fucking things on the planet. It's a time trial. It's so nuts.
The craziest thing on the planet is there is a budget hotel in Las Vegas with a fucking ride on the top that just throws you out over like strip adjacent and sucks you back in.
It's not even a hotel. It's called the Stratosphere. It's a giant tower. I've seen it and been to it.
No, it's a hotel. There are rooms there. They're $10 a night.
Oh, all right, yeah. So it's the
the rooms are $10 a night.
The Stratosphere. Yeah, it's toward the end of the strip. It's really fucking cool. I just wouldn't do it because I'm terrified of heights.
No, that is also the part of town that people tell you not to go to.
Oh, it's a bit sketch. It's a bit sketch.
Is that why it's $10 a night?
Yeah, like it's not great.
Yeah. Like if you can get a hotel room in Vegas that's not in a casino, because in a casino is different. They don't have to charge for the rooms. If you're in the casino, you're going to spend money.
Yeah.
Like that's their philosophy.
I was fortunate. I stayed at a friend's house when I went. So.
See, if I go to Vegas, it will be for one reason: to find someone to dress up like Ronald McDonald and throw a fucking mock wedding in front of the Elvis Chapel.
Which I've seen, and it's super cool.
But not in the Elvis Chapel. I want to hire somebody unaffiliated with them to do a mock wedding, like at the front of their sidewalk, dressed as Ronald McDonald.
There you go.
Just for the picture.
I need to see this.
Well, the company might have to fund a business trip then.
Multiple CC.
I will need a +1. I'll need somebody to play the bride.
True with Manx. Very, yeah. It's fucking, like, it's super tight. It's crazy. and these motorcycles are ridiculous. But the Isle of Man TT is fucking insane.
I love how
and
super
Manx is
bikes are
crazy
1,000.
too.
I love how like super bikes are, like anything over 1,000 cc's is considered a super bike
Mm-hmm.
in terms of motocross, right? Most of the
Well,
bikes I've
in
been on are
general.
1,200 cc's or bigger because
So
I'm a fucking giant.
so motocross, there's a cap on any competitive motocross series. The specs, your top division will never go above 4. Now, if we're talking like super bikes, like the American Superbike series or MotoGP, those are all so much higher because those are like racing street bikes. So they're from 1,000 up.
So, okay.
Which
So
those
do
guys
you
are
know
fucking crazy, man.
do you know what my
MotoGP was
dream bike
nuts.
is?
What?
A Ducati Monster 1100 Evo.
You had me at Ducati.
The engine's made by Harley Davidson, which means I can get the parts for it here in the States.
Yeah.
That's why I want the 1100 Evo.
Oh, it's a nice bike. It's
Oh,
fast.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Plus, when you go with like the Skeletor route, where like basically it's like frame and no fairings.
Yeah.
Oh, sexy.
It looks nice. Problem with that choice, ooh.
What's that, Lil? Other than they don't make the 1100 Evo anymore.
Anything mechanical, it is a Ducati.
No. It's a Ducati in name only. It's built by Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Which, when you want to talk about mechanical precision in motorcycles, there are two names, in my opinion. Harley Davidson, for street bikes. Harley Davidson and Triumph.
Oh, for like a cruiser type, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a street bike.
Street bikes,
is
yeah.
yeah, those are like there's so many. Oh yeah, that's especially with Triumph and with Harley Davidson, you're gonna pay a lot of fucking those parts or fix them.
Yeah. Well, Ducati parts are also crazy expensive because it's Italian and they only make the parts in Italy, with the exception of the 1100 Evo, which I can
Honda
get parts
makes
for
really
here in
good
the
motorcycles
States.
too.
I had a
Honda makes
Honda
very good motorcycles.
CBX,
Yeah.
I think. But dude, my favorite bike I have ever owned was a 1972 Hidaka Street Rat.
Oh, word. Nice.
Like, you want to talk about old school? This was an enduro back when they still called them street and trails, and it ran on a 2-cycle.
That's still dope though, Lil.
Yeah, no, I like Triumphs and I like Harleys, like both visually and mechanically. Ducatis look really cool visually, but they tend to be a nightmare mechanically.
You know what has been cool, as someone who, like, I don't watch MotoGP or any like that. Like, I do, but not like religiously. I do watch more, motocross. And with like Monster Energy Supercross and stuff, it's been cool over the past like 10, 15 years to see more than just Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, like Suzuki, like those like 4 main ones. You've now got fucking KTM is involved, Husqvarna is involved, Gas is involved now. So like to see manufacturers grow in motorcycle racing is so awesome. Yes, Dave.
Fuck, you made me wait too long. This is why I interrupt people.
It'll come back to you. It always does.
No, it doesn't. This one's gone.
No.
It left a suicide note. It says,
So-
you made me wait, bitch. I'm ending it all.
I mean, I guess that does tie into us Kawasaki 900P. Oh, was it? But that's, I mean, Kawasaki usually makes decent street bikes. But I think is that all we got? Your boy has to go potty. So we want to wrap this biatch up, squad?
Hump it before you dump it.
I
Wait,
guess
no,
on the
that has weird
different meaning.
connotations.
I guess that's where we're gonna end it then. Bree, you look thrilled to be here as always.
I'm sorry.
Be less sorry.
Yeah, for real. Be less sorry.
You're fine.
I just like picking on you because it's funny.
No, he likes picking on you because you're new and haven't realized that you can just make fun of him and he'll stop.
That's
I
not
do
how
make
that
fun
works.
of him, but I do make fun of him, but it's the same joke, and then y'all call me out for using the
Yeah,
same
it
joke.
literally. You just called me a bald leprechaun all the time. It's like,
Yes.
ooh.
I mean, I poke fun at those things too, but I do it in creative ways.
Yeah, you got to be creative if you're gonna use the same insult.
I'm not feeling very creative.
And in
right now.
that creativity, find a way to make it hurt just a little.
Yeah, Dave is the king of. Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, my real life ears aren't backwards. It's just in
No,
the
your real
picture.
life ears are backwards.
They are not backwards.
Yeah, they are. Look at mine.
Yeah, I can also see your fingers too, pushing your ears. This is like the time you tried to convince me that Canada and the United States were the same fucking country.
We are.
No, we are not.
I can't do
For the
that
same
again.
continent.
It was a fucking
No,
dude.
I
It was
know.
literally
I
15
was-
minutes
I was
of
doing a
Dave
bit.
trying to convince me.
I know you were doing a bit.
It was so. I was like, dude, what the fuck? It's like, I know I'm not that
Yeah.
high. Stop it.
Dave trying
Well,
to
we were talking
gaslight
about
you.
Mandela effect stuff.
Dude, Dave is the king of gaslighting for comedy. All the time. Dave says so much shit, and then I get to a point where I'm like, he's like, oh, I was joking. But I know I was also joking. And I get to a point where I'm like,
The
yeah,
US
I don't
and
believe
Alaska
you.
are the same country.
They are. Yeah, that is true. We are playing. I don't even have it up right now. I also do
Good,
have
you're
to
not
potty.
supposed to. Canada is just the US's hat. Look,
Yeah, it
look,
is time.
all I'm going to say is up until what, the late 80s, early 90s, Canada was still technically a province of Great Britain.
Yeah, it was like under Queen's rule. And it is the US's hat. I mean, that is accurate though.
Top of the morning to you.
That's definitely
Ding, 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 ding. Yeehaw!
No, that's Alabama.
Thanks,
really
guys.
loud.
That was loud.
This has been less than normal.
Indeed, it has. If you guys want to follow us in any way on our social medias, we have a command for that. They are in chat. Also, check out our merch store because there's a lot of fun stuff. We're everywhere. So
And only like half of it has any of the logos on it. Some of
yeah,
it's just fun stuff. So
yeah, and we have a list. We have a massive list of other merch ideas. At some point, will make their way onto the store.
yeah, in other words, hey Dave, you should look at the merch ideas channel. That's what I just heard.
No, not necessarily. It just am I wrong? Is that not an insane list of shit in there?
I try not to look at it. It makes me depressed.
Because we come up with all sorts of shit. We will be live again tomorrow night for Yeah, Educate Me Daddy was great.
Educate Me Daddy
it's
is
already up
already
there.
in the store. It was in the store that day.
Oh, and that is actually the first piece, or that is the first. Honestly, don't tempt us, Lil.
No. Hang on. Right now, if you want, we have stickers that you can put on the end where a jewel would go.
We
and
do.
you can make any butt plug LTN branded.
Boom. Oh, we also have things that say #butt stuff. So
We do have things that say #butt
if
stuff.
you want to
There's
buy a sticker to
hat.
put on the end of your butt plug, you can also buy our #butt stuff merch.
I keep trying to convince them to let me make underwear, and they keep telling me no.
I mean, honestly, at this point,
Wait, no.
We had
the
it.
boxer briefs are on there.
They are still all right. So they are still on there.
I think.
I mean, hey, there's a chance that you may get some LTN actual branded butt plugs. You never know. Some things may show up.
If you want to work with us, the butt stuff is kind of on brand for us. So, like,
It's
shoot us a message.
very on brand for us.
Adam and Eve, I'm talking to you. You sponsor creators all the time. Let's fool around and find out.
Indeed. But yeah, we will be live tomorrow with Community Game Night. It always varies each week on which members of the LTN Media community part of it on screen, but yeah, that'll be fun.
I have to be here. I don't have a choice.
I'll be here.
Dave is our producer, so Dave kind of does have to be here.
I don't want to go to work. Tomorrow I'm calling in dead. I'll say I got some fatal disease. A zombie bit me on my fucking head.
I was going to stream on Twitch, but then I got high.
Bree always needs to be there. She brings good vibes, I guess.
It's because Bree always eats too many gummies
I
and
had
ends up in
half of
fucking
one.
space.
I ate half of one, so fuck you.
You are still the only person in LTN Media history to fall asleep on stream, so...
Shut up!
No,
Who
incorrect.
Who else has fallen asleep on stream?
Me, several times. It's just usually during your sports segment, and I'm not on screen.
Wow. I get it. Nobody likes the sports segment.
No, Chris. It has nothing to do with the sports segment and everything to do with my brain. When you're not on screen, you can close your eyes for a second. You know the times when you have to say my name more than once to get me to be like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, to pay attention?
That oh, fuck is usually I'm tired and have passed the fuck out because I made a mistake and decided to close my eyes for a fucking minute.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Narcolepsy goes hand in hand with insomnia. They're like fuck buddies from way back.
Do we want to raid Nugs?
Well, I was going to suggest when I start my stream here in about 15 minutes, people come check out more Atomic Heart.
Ooh, we could also do that too. I mean, so we do have a few friends that are streaming right now as well. If you want to go give them some love too. Firefair is live playing Fortnite, and our boy Nugs, who is featured regularly on Community Game Nights, is streaming some Hogwarts Legacy currently. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he definitely takes naps during double. I'm willing to bet.
Oh, yeah. That has happened on more than one occasion, but they're the same kind of micro naps I take when Chris is doing shit. It's just like, oh, fuck, I lost 10 minutes.
So I will shout out the crew that is also live if you guys want to go check them out as well. Like Dave said, Dave is going to be playing Atomic Heart here in a few minutes. So
yeah.
If you guys want to join in, I'm sure we will all be in chat hanging out. But I think that's all we have time for. Thank you guys so much for being here. Dave, you want to throw them out with the tagline?
Until we see y'all.
Try it again. Take 2. Marker.
Until we see y'all again. Keep it simple. Stay